How about a little bit of piano Carol of the Bells remix, courtesy of the #1 sound creator here on YouTube, Jeremy Harvey himself. I don't think he's here tonight with us, but that is a beautiful piece he whipped up in like just a few days. He knew I was listening to Carol of the Bells. He said, hey, let me whip up a little Carol of the Bells remix for you. All created by himself. An absolutely talented young man. Appreciate the countdown theme, Jeremy. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome aboard our little Members Live After Dark here. I can't get away from the TBM just yet. Can't get away from the turboprops just yet. I said, hey, I had a little fun when we did that late night stream last week. I said, let's do it again. Let's do another late night stream tonight, but let's do it chill style. Let's do it members only. And let's fly my still favorite turboprop in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We'll go over a little bit more why that is, if you don't know already. But it's going to be a fun one. We're here in John Wayne, Santa Ana. We're going to fly up to Lima 05, which is Kern Airport, if we can find it. I think it's going to be too late in the sim. Do I wind back the sim a couple minutes so we have like a sunset, because there's no approaches to Lima 05, and then from there go into Telluride. I wanted to go into Telluride at night, or I'm sorry, not Telluride, excuse me, Lake Tahoe, because there is a GPS approach into there we can do, which I think would be fun to do that at night in the TBM. Or we just skip Lima 05 and go straight there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. But here we are on the ramp. I've been at this ramp many times. They have some wonderful cookies in here. We got our cookies. We got our cookies and coffee. We're ready to go. So let's walk out to our airplane, shall we? Let's go, chat. Here we go. The Canadian, welcome to Commercial Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Thank you so much for becoming a member here on the channel. Exclamation point welcome for your new perks. Well, folks, here is our ride I keep saying Telluride, to Lake Tahoe. We got a Citation CJ4 doing a little plane swap on it. We're going to be taking this puppy up there. I figured you guys want to see something different. So here we are. What do you guys think? You want to do it? I think it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful little airplane here. We'll hop right into the cockpit, flown these airplanes back in the day. Nah, I'm just kidding. You guys know me by now. I can't fool you. It's actually this is a great little 3D model. That's not ours. We're going over here. We're going over here to where the props are. Romulus, welcome to the stream. Good evening. More tree trimming tonight. Romulus, the full-fledged V1 member there with the gold wings. I absolutely love it. No tree trimming tonight. I'm hoping, Romulus. Tonight is supposed to be, we're going to talk about tree trimming and then the seriousness of it. But my TBM is too fancy, all right? It's not a PC-12. My TBM is my personal TBM. We're going to take my TBM. Oh, this is a 930. That's not mine. Silly me. Let's go. Oh, there she is. 357 Bravo Mike, looking like an absolute beaut sitting over here. Absolutely awesome. Look at this. I love the TBM. Jeremy's in the house. Jeremy, glad to see you here, my friend. Glad you caught that live. Absolutely loved it, Jeremy. Fantastic countdown, my friend. All right, guys, so here we are. What do we do? I'm going to put a little poll in chat just so we can decide if we're going to go straight to Lima 05 or wind the time back. Let me just get this in here real quick, and then I'll do that here. So for tonight, let's see. Roll time back for VFR approach in Lima 05, or real time direct to where are we going? Tahoe. I'm going to start this poll so you guys can let me know. Let's go ahead and hop into the airplane. By the way, guys, I had to, gals, I had to do our little maintenance. What did I say? TBM 850. What did I say, Brian? Yeah, TBM 850 is what my favorite is. You convinced me to watch American Made last night. That was a fun movie. Steve, I'm glad you watched it, man. If you haven't already, you guys need to go check out American Made. It's still one of my favorite aviation themed movies out there. The old one is good, but the new one is even better. Tom Cruise, he nailed the role, completely nailed it. So if you haven't seen it, please do. Well, I don't care if you watch it or not, but you should watch it. I think you'll get some laughs out of it. Happy to catch a live stream. John, welcome. Good evening, sir. AJ, good to see you here. Going to need to call airport security. Weird captain talking to himself at the signature apron, casing other planes. Exactly. You know what's cool? I didn't even realize this was part of the scenery, but there's a like the folks walking about. This is a very lively ramp here at ACI Jet tonight. So, Brian, that's you next to me. Awesome. Canadian, I just saw your message back there. So that was you posting the PA31. Absolutely awesome, man. What's that little PFD you got? Little glass. What is that called? And then what kind of what model glass PFD is it? But other than that, sweet little Chieftain. Looks amazing. Brings back a ton of memories, man. If you do get some more pictures, if you fly it again, make sure you post them because I love seeing that. It really brings me back, my friend. Poll is 50-50 with 144 watching. That is typical. I have a few little frame drop issues here, so I think I figured it out, chat. The office directly next to me, when they are doing stuff, which they're doing stuff tonight, it's kind of late for them. Hopefully they'll wrap it up. I feel like that's when I have a few scattered frame drops. So if you see a stutter here or there, I do apologize, but that should smooth out when they wrap up, and we'll have a nice flight for the rest of the evening. I got nothing to do tomorrow. We're staying up late. I've had some coffee, and we're going to talk a lot of different things on this flight up there. We're going to mostly real-world stuff. I know we have real-world pilots. I was just informed of another fatality of someone that I did not know directly, but knew, had some knowledge of. And it's just like the GA world right now is having a lot of losses. So we're going to talk some threats about single-engine flying up in the mountains at night, and we're going to kind of keep it real. And I think it's going to be fun. So looking at the poll, roll time back 58%. Says that's what we're going to do. So 58%. That's close enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. I will end it, and we're going to roll the time back so we can continue with the double. We're going to double back. Wait, roll the time back for VFR approach. Yeah, that's what won. So, Jeff, you're confusing me, man. You're confusing me. Yeah, Gustavo, exactly. Good to see you, Gustavo. Welcome. Good evening, my friend. All right, so what we'll do, it's 4:20 local. What we will do is we will wind that time back. How about 1 hour? Let's make it 3:20 local. So we'll just wind it back 1 hour, and then we're going to leave it be for the rest of the evening. Close enough. 3:21. There we are. So the sun is coming up, getting ready to set, but this will be good. A nice VFR flight. Let's hop in here and get things going, shall we? Nobody online for us. I wonder if the GA accident rate is actually higher, or if social media and the sheer number of people. Sam, you're absolutely correct. You have a very valid point. With the amount of eyeballs that we have on the GA world now with social media, it does seem like we are. Now, I don't remember what the data said. I just I renewed my recurrent CFI a couple months ago, and they had the data showing accidents. I want to say it actually was going up, Sam, but I could be wrong. But either way, whether the accident rate is going up or down, there is more publicity to GA, so it makes it seem like there's a lot more going on. But I feel like there just has to be more going on. My YouTube, my socials are filled with accidents happening. It's tragic. All right. Gustavo, yeah, I was listening to his breakdown not too long ago, on the drive over to the office. We're gonna go right into a GPU here. Let's go ahead and get our nav lights on. We're gonna go GPU. Generator will stay off for right now. Starter off. Everything looks good there. Since we have ground power for us today. We are on ground power, right? Yeah, we are on ground power. GPU is connected. Since we have GPU power, we're going to program our avionics. Look at this beautiful cockpit. I wish we could get rid of that shake there. I will say that I did update to the latest and greatest TBM 850. I did not. So full disclosure, you guys know this. Just Flight was kind enough to send me pre-release versions before it was released. I've got to fly around, get familiar with it, made some videos on it. And then after it released, I was given a couple updates, the updated version, but I've been loving this airplane so much. I didn't get the latest copy, so I went ahead and just purchased it again myself, or purchased it for the first time myself, because I just love this airplane so much, and I really do want to support Just Flight and what they're doing. They're bringing some high quality add-ons to the market, and I think that's you wanna keep those guys rolling, because Just Flight, I don't think they've released a bad airplane yet, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, I like their black square team, getting the round gauges into all the glass cockpits that were default, and then of course this first standalone, basically standalone airplane from them, just another fantastic airplane. So we do have the latest and greatest. The boots do work. I checked out the boots. It's awesome. I have our failures reset, so we have no active failures. My engine is still running at 100%. I didn't overhaul it, but I've been very nice to it. So everything looks good on the failures. Everything's ready to go there. So let's go ahead and put that on standby for now and load up our flight plan. So SNA. Retro Rampage Gaming, a good afternoon, a good evening. Thank you for joining the channel, becoming a member here. Appreciate you. Exclamation point welcome. Glad to have you on board. All right, so we need to select departure, which is something we don't really mess with the 530 all that much. So let's go ahead and actually select a departure procedure. You still can do SIDS and stars with the 530. We're going to be departing off 02. I'll tell you what, we'll take 02 right. We could take 02 left, but let's go ahead and take 02 right, because we're going to be taking fuel for both routes today. So we're going to do this on the transition. Oh, this is cool. Let's pull up our Navigraph, because you guys will be able to see the charts, which are, I like the way the charts are listed in Navigraph now. I'll pull up the Navigraph right there, and now you should be able to see it. Yes, I'll move the camera over a little bit. There we go. Retro Rampage gifting a membership as well. Too kind of you. Retro Rampage Gaming, thank you for the support. Looks like Robert Del Rey picked up a membership, so you can now chat on the channel. Good evening, Robert, and thank you, Retro Rampage, for that gifted sub. All right, so looks like we are on our flight plan here. 20 right, Anaheim 1 to Lima Hotel Sierra. We'll enter that. We will load that. And there is our departure on the 530. After, let's see, after LHS, we're going to put in our waypoints. Now, I have a navlog printed out, which I'm going to pull up. Well, actually, I could do it from here, can't I? Victor 495. I'm going to just pull out the navlog, because the navlog will have the waypoints. So the one downside with the 530 is when you have a route structure on an airway, you have to manually put in the waypoint. So there's easy ways to do it. Now that I figured out that you can just type, oh man, I'm going to have to move my navlog over here, because every time I click on the screen, it moves over. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me knock this out real quick. I was going to do this before the stream started, but I'm not a pro streamer. So let's see. Next waypoint after the departure is Jeffy, J-E-F-F-Y. So we're J-E-F-F-Y. Enter that. And then after Jeffy, we have one more waypoint of Lope. Oh, you know what? This actually goes to... Scratch that. Scratch that. After Jeffy, we're going to go direct Lima 05. Lima 05. So scratch all that. I might actually not even go direct to Jeffy. Let's throw this in here. Lima 05. Kernville. And then we're going to clear SNA out. Remove SNA. All right, so that is our flight plan. We'll zoom out the range here. I think that looks good. That does look good. Beautiful. All right, we'll go ahead and close that. Who gifted 5 more memberships? Is that Retro Rampage Gaming gifting 5 memberships to the channel? Retro, coming in hot. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships to the channel. That's 6 gifted 6 gifted memberships tonight. I appreciate you, Retro Rampage. Very kind. Thank you for the support. What's good, Velociraptor? Good to see you. Jeff, you went back and watched the PC-12 go-around from yesterday? Oh, yeah. That one was spicy. So this has us going up to Lima 05 after Lopes. Oh, so Jeffy, Lopes, then Lima 05. That's fine. We'll go direct to. I don't think there's any ATC covering us right now. No, there's not. So we're good. So our flight plan is in the box. What we can do, though, is we're going to need the departure procedure out. We'll do a quick review of this in case somebody does hop online here. SIDS, Anaheim. Where is Anaheim? There we go. Let's do this. I don't want the layer. I just want the actual chart. There we go. So off 20 right, it's a vector departure. So that makes life easy. Vector departure, Seal Beach, and then we'll join the departure. We'll go around LAX airspace. Hopefully we'll get a nice view of it though. All right, so our route is in. Our flight plan is in. Let's go ahead and set up a couple other things here while we're sitting at on the ground power. We'll set our cabin altitude of 200, so we're going to set it up 100 above that. We'll make it 210 on the pressurization. Everything else is off for start. This is all off and in the normal position. Parking brake is set. So let's go ahead and kill the radio master, and let's get ready to go into a, let's just use a GPU start today. So we'll put our strobe lights on, and yeah, we'll just keep the strobe lights on because that's our pseudo beacon. Generator off. And we got to go up this way. Generator is off. That is off. A boost pump is coming on. Fuel selector is in the manual position. Now, oh, forgot to close up. We need to close up, chat. We almost left with our doors open. Let's go ahead and lock it all before we go. We are locked and green, so we're looking good. Don't worry about my fuel pumps burning there. We'll go ahead and clear the caution. And let's go ahead and engage ignition to on, starter. Here we go, off the GPU. Monitoring NG, here we go. Prop full forward, if I didn't say already. I just moved it full forward. Looks like we're gonna stabilize right about 18% low idle. Absolutely love it. Temp out right around 680. There is 50%. We'll go starter off. High idle. Generator main. Battery. Auto ignition. We'll get our gyros, RMIs. We'll get our bleed into the auto position. Fan auto. We'll go aircon to fan only time being. Avionics master. Autopilot and trims on. Pitot heaters 1 and 2, inert sep can stay off. And last but not least, the radio master. Spool them up. Is this the Zobo TV? I always want to check the one up, keeps forgetting. Beef, I believe it is. I don't think I have anything set up special for it. Can I explain what? What's that, Gustavo? Oh, the King Air. The King Air is my favorite, but as far as airplanes are concerned, this is my favorite airplane because it's got a little bit more simulated. But the King Air is definitely up there. King Air is my favorite twin prop. How's that sound? Please tell me our flight plan saved. It did. Okay, good. We'll let that finish loading up. I just press and hold the clear key, brings it to the map. We'll change our CDI to GPS. That'll be Seal Beach. We need to be on 122.8 on the comms. .8. We'll go ahead and squawk 2000 as well. We'll squawk altitude 2000. Oops. Squawk altitude 2000, 22.8 on the comms there. No, and you still think I like the King Air more? Hey, I don't dislike it at all. I have a hard time putting the we forgot our after start flow. That should go auto. Everything looks good. Cruise altitude 200. We'll arm you. Pull for vertical speed. We'll set an initial 1,500 feet a minute or so. Push you back in. Turn the flight director off. Magic barrel ref key, and we're ready to get out of here. I wish there was a way. Somebody told me that there was a way to get rid of these guys, these trucks and stuff in front of the airplane every single time you spawn in. Not quite sure how to do that though. Al W, Alan, formerly Al W, as folks tell me, artificial intelligence, and as Al, folks ask me if I was from Alabama. Ah, Al W, all right, man. Well, I'll keep calling you Al, even though you changed your name. Good to have you on board. PC-12 NG would be the best single prop in any sim and also in real life. It could be, Gustavo. The PC-12 has potential to be. It has potential to be, no doubt about it. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get our taxi light on. Gotta run over all these guys. John Wayne traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike, going to be a taxi on runway 20, right? John Wayne. Make sure my VATS and audios are on. Yep, it is. I think there's a config file. I'll have to check Flight Sim, guys. Somebody told me, and I...
John Wayne traffic, TBM 7 for team.
So I know it's possible.
Victor, testing runway 2, right? John Wayne traffic.
I know it's possible, but I haven't... maybe I'll have to go back on that stream and see what that guy said. It's because someone left a comment saying how to do it. All right, we need to juice up the sounds in here, or excuse me, not the sounds, the panel lighting. Let's go ahead and just turn them all the way up for right now. We don't really need any flood, but... So 20 right, we don't really need flaps, but I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do a flaps to departure on this one. Flaps 15, or flaps to takeoff, I should say. Get that PC-12 is stuck. Being the Parrot pilot twice in a PC-12, that Primus Apex was just chef's kiss. Oh, the Apex, Primus. Man, too much glass for the sim world, man. Too much glass. So it appears they adjusted the beta range at idle on this latest update too, which I really like. Really like that. Looks like I have a little bit of a crosswind today. Oh, you got it, AJ? It was a CFG mod? All right. Thank you, man. Yeah, I will take a look at that and I'll do it for sure. Because it is kind of annoying having it pop up all the time. Although there's that tug and having to run over the rampers. There's the fancy terminal. That's where everyone else likes to go with their airplanes, but today we're going somewhere different. All right, 200 is set. We got our pressurization is set. ECS is set. Do a quick flight control check. Flight controls are checked. Inert SEP is not required for this takeoff. Our pitot heats are on. No airframe de-ice. But if you want to see it, hopefully we can do it here. Check this out. Watch right here. There you go. Look at that. How cool is that? There's your boot de-ice. So the boots are working. We'll go ahead and turn those off. We may actually need them on this flight. So we did a good little check there. That's good. Bumpy taxiway here. Let's do a terrain test since we're going up into the mountains. Getting all of our lights on, that's good. Oh, you know what I need to adjust? I turned down the alerts volume because of the INI A310. We need to turn those puppies up. Let's just make them 100 like everything else is. Let's run that back.
Sink rate.
There we go.
Sink rate.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Velociraptor, this is their, I don't know when this one was. I think they updated this a little while ago. But I never had it. I was never sent the latest and greatest. I think it was just a little like a pre-release deal. So I went and I was like, man, I gotta try all the new updates. So I went and picked it up. But I was able to save my airframe flight time and everything else. All right, let's make sure we know where we're going here. Yeah, we're gonna cross. I don't think anybody's on final. John Wayne traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. We're gonna cross 20 left, hold short 20 right. John Wayne. The PC-12 sync rate is a confirmed bug and be fixed in the next patch. Awesome. Yeah, so anytime you were... I thought it would be a bug, Jeff. I wasn't 100% sure. But I'm glad to know it is a bug because that 1,000 foot per minute, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are doing more descent rates than that at PC-12. All right, so I got our landing lights on. We'll have them bound. We'll go ahead and cross 20 left. We'll hold short 20 right. This is a real tight spot here. Matter of fact, when you're in an Airbus, you can only cross 20 left when there's nobody on final for 20 right, because there's barely enough room, and depending on what Airbus you're in, there's not even enough room between these runways.
Radio check.
Got you loud and clear.
Thanks.
So we'll go ahead and hold short here real quick. All right, brakes are set. Now I should have done this before we started up. Let's just make sure our weight and balance is good. Yep. 37% payload, and we've got 48% fuel, which is approximately 1,000-something pounds, so we're looking good. That's what we should have enough fuel to get up there. We might have to get a little extra gas at Lima 05, but I think we're good. Let's take a look out on final. I don't see anybody. Let's roll. Harrison Ford crossing point. John Wayne traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike, departing runway 20 right on the Anaheim departure. John Wayne traffic. All right, let's light everything up. Lights are on. And we'll go ahead and go into pulse mode since we don't need non-pulse mode. Brakes released.
John Wayne traffic.
Make sure our trims are set. Trims are set. I should make a rudder trim a little bit more to the right.
And holding short runway 2 right, John Wayne traffic.
I like to split my rudder trim. I know that takeoff mark is where it is, but I think I've found, I don't know though, this is a little bit different flight model. I think they've adjusted that as well. But I found if I go all the way to the takeoff spot, it's just, for sim purposes, it's a little bit finicky when you're cleaning up to have to trim back. Look how small this runway, look how small we are compared to this runway. I feel like a little bug out here. Absolutely love it. All right. No cams. Let's get out of here. Not really a yoga, but I love these sounds too. Take a listen. Come out of the beta range. We'll get the prop up to the governor. There comes the prop out of beta. And brakes release. Set torque 100%. Airspeed's alive.
Traffic, TBM 10 for
Positive rate, you're up. Oh, absolutely love it. Let's watch that heading. Let's come back a little bit to the right. Lowering the nose. As soon as we hit about 110, flaps up. I gotta turn the airplane sim down a little bit. It seems pretty loud. Sounds are good though. I like these sounds. Flaps are up, working that rudder trim out. There's no air traffic control online. I don't think we're going to make anybody too upset. Let's give ourselves a radar vector to Seal Beach. Let's make a right turn, heading 270. And let's keep that climb coming. Man, the flight model feels good. I can definitely tell they adjusted it. Double checking the departure procedure. Alright, yeah, we're looking good. We're just vectoring ourselves to Seal Beach. Trimmed out, pretty much looking good. Let me go flight plan. Direct to Activate. Nav. Yaw damper. There we go. We're going to come to the right.
Downwind traffic, November 1102 Hotel, depart runway 11. Downwind traffic.
Man, the performance is so good. I actually need to pitch up a little bit more. We'll bring that prop right off the governor. All right, there's our direct to Seal Beach. We're really only 8 miles out, so let's go ahead and get direct to. Let's help our climb rate. We want to get out of LA's lower class Bravo shelf, especially if anybody's on final to LA. So let's keep in climbing. A little bit more. I think, what was Steve-O? Like 130? I think we got 140 there. So let's go IAS hold. We'll go autopilot, IAS hold. Why is IAS hold down there? Alright, that's fine. Let's just do vertical speed. Engage, vertical speed. That's fine by me. Now it says roll, but it's definitely navin. 140, we're doing 2,000 feet a minute. We can actually go 850 mode, so our flaps are up. Let's go 850 mode. Watching that torque. I'll go ahead and increase that feet per minute. Let's make 2,500 feet a minute. $2,500 feet a minute. We can actually go to 117. 117 on torque. There we go. Nice having a working governor, indeed. So where's LAX? Did we already pass it? No, I think... No, LAX is right over there. Man, look at that climb. 2,500 feet a minute, no problem. 130 knots. I think that's what Steve always did, right? 130 on the speed. Torque is set. Prop is set. NG and ITT are looking good. Once we get above 10,000 feet, I'm going to lower that nose. And we're going to make that turn right at Seal Beach. It'll be a sharp 90-degree turn, but then we'll pitch out for more of a VY. We'll speed it up a little bit so we can make our arrival into Lima 05 with no sun setting on us. 6 nautical miles off your nose is LAX. Yep, I can see the cutout right over there. Absolutely love it. LA Tower is online too, so good thing we avoided their airspace. Oh man, I love this TBM. Absolutely love it. Alright, here comes 10,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the vertical speed. For some reason, it didn't seem like my IIS was going to work very well. We'll do 1,000 feet per minute. Alright, here's the turn. We're going to go ahead and avoid all that nasty airspace over there. Headed up into the mountains. Yeah, she climbs like a beast. Alright, we're out of 10,000 feet. We will go landing lights off, taxi lights off. Everything else looks good. Now I'm gonna try IS hold here. Let's see if it'll adjust. It is, okay, so it's, I see what's happening. Something with the Garmin's, something with the GTI when I try it, because I was messing with the GTN again, trying to get it to work. So the airplane is behaving in IAS mode. It's just not indicating here on the PFD. I might have to just do a complete uninstall and reinstall my GTN 750 and see if that'll fix it. Have to just uninstall everything. I thought I already tried that, but for some reason I'm having issues. Maybe I have a conflicting binding, or maybe it's not working with the way my Bravo bindings are set up. I'm not sure why. But we're doing a nice VY climb out. Torque is dropping off a little bit. That's normal. We're now coming down to 112 on the torque. ITT is good. ITT is 764. We're in 850 mode, so we are ripping. Look at that view right there. Gotta love it. Why does the ADI slip indicator bug your brain? I always have to do a hot swap between 750 and 530 to get the autopilot working right. That little emoji thing always blocks the last chat. I hate that thing on there on YouTube. Do a hot swap 750 and 5. I would hot swap it right now. Maybe I'll tell you what. We'll try to hot swap it in. We'll hot swap it in Kern. So we will stay on the departure though, because we want to stay where we're supposed to be. Now normally I would say, oh, we're just VFR. Well, we're not VFR. We're actually IFR on this flight plan. We could just go direct to, but there's probably several folks flying into LA tonight. It is VATSIM. It is a very busy spot, so we're going to just stay on our route. I wanted to go ahead and put nothing, no weather. I was trying to get, I don't know if map mode works on that or not. Alright, 14.5. We can actually bump the torque up a little bit more here. It's down to 110. I can give us a little bit more juice, but we got to watch that ITT. 775. How's our cabin doing? Did we turn the bleed on? Okay, yeah, it's going. It's moving. Increase the rate a little bit for that differential needle to get up. FO pilot depth, good evening. Oh, a slip indicator, but a turn rate indicator. Like, what an odd place to be. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. Didn't they used to have, like, wasn't that an instrument, like, over here on the old school 6-pack? Like, where's with the little airplane thing? So it needs a little bit more rudder in the turn. There we go. Oop, that was too much. There we go. Keeper coordinated. The yaw damper is definitely more active in the PC-12. Lone Sparrow, it is the TDS for me as well. I have the TDS. If PMS, do you have the extra download that fully incorporates working title stuff? No, it's not the PMS. So I used to have the PMS, but I went and purchased the TDS 750, the actual like Garmin trainer. And this is the interesting thing. It works flawlessly in the King Air. So in the Black Square King Air, everything works exactly how it should with the 750. In fact, I think it also works flawlessly in... I have another plane with it. The Caravan. The Caravan works flawlessly in the Caravan and the King Air. But in the TBM, and I've also tried it in the PC-12, it does not work for me the way it's set up. What happens is this will just say GPS 0. It doesn't matter what I do with the CDI on the GTN. It doesn't matter what I do with the CDI here. It does not matter anything that I do. It will not show. And I know it's a bug because if I just leave it, over time, it'll flicker. It'll flicker to what it's supposed to show. Like it'll say, oh, GPS track, 4.5 miles, 185 knots, and then it'll go back to null and void, like just zeroed out. And then it'll flicker to showing what it's supposed to, and then it zeroes out. So it's almost like there's something conflicting that I have, maybe even a binding. That's what I should do. I'm gonna go ahead and set standard 290902 is set across the board. There's our 1,000 feet to level off. So anyway, I'll have to dig more into that when I have more time. Getting ready to level. Let's go ahead and monitor the level off here. Make sure we don't rip through an overspeed. Not trying to jump ahead outside of GA flying, but the accidents that really frustrate me are the ones where outside of their skill set, like mountain flying without any real experience. Sam, you bring up a great point, man. We'll get into that right now because we're about to level off. 200, looking good. Here's the final turn. Man, I love this airplane. Fud Life, welcome to Commercial Pilot! Exclamation point. Welcome. Glad to have you on board the channel, sir. Hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. Little members only action. Exclamation point. Welcome for your full list of perks as a private pilot member. Glad to have you on board. And Image Seeker, welcome back to Commercial Pilot. Glad to have you on board as well. All right, vertical speed is 0 to flight level 200. We are navin, flight director. Everything is looking good. Sync our heading bug. We're going to go ahead and set kind of a cruise or a quiet cruise. What's with the stutter I'm getting all of a sudden? That's kind of suspicious. That was a sim stutter. That wasn't even an internet stutter. Let's be nice.
Takeoff is Crusing to the left. To the right. It's pretty.
Let's bring that torque back. And let's bring that prop back. I know Steva does 19, but we have a quiet cruise of 18. I'm going to lock in. 1800 on the RPM. Maximum cruise torque, I got to run the numbers, but we'll just set a minimum ITT, 730. That looks fine. We could probably go a little bit faster, but we'll settle in right here. This is plenty fast. Actually doing 200 indicated out on the nose, 228 knots over the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy your private prop flight up to Curran Airport. The lack of recurrency, vast majority of average shows, not enough to be safe, just enough for currency. Yes, Gustavo brings up a good point as well. Jeff, I'm going to check out my my mod folder. AJ, yeah, no more military intercepts this flight. Aviation lover, good to see you. Welcome on board Team Green, Aviation lover. Exclamation point, welcome for your new perks here, and you're now able to chat as a new member to the channel. Digital Merc, I'm right up there with you. I think it's the best prop that we have in Microsoft. Best turboprop. The A2A Comanche is kind of like, come on. But it's, as far as the airplanes that I personally fly, my favorite. It's hands down my favorite right now. But kind of getting back into the what we were going to talk about when I first started. You know, we've had the most latest was the Tennessee girl. And Sam brought up a good point. I know everybody in the chat is not a pilot, but I know there are quite a few of you that are either on the adventure to becoming private pilots or you're student pilots right now, and maybe the PPL is all you're striving to go for. And there's also a handful of airline pilots. I mean, I know Sam, you were watching the channel, before you even were? I think you were back instructing, right? You were getting ready to go into the regionals and then move on in your career. So it's cool to see the progression. So if you're not a real world pilot, hopefully the topic doesn't completely bore you, but it's important to know. I mean, I think everybody in the channel or in the chat is at least an aviation enthusiast to some extent, right? That's why we fly flight simulators. But it does seem that the current trend of GA accidents is, whether it's artificially inflated a little bit by social media like we hit on, or the trend is going up. The worst part of it all is a lot of these accidents seem like they can be avoided with just a little bit more awareness to hazardous attitudes. So if you're ever remember your hazardous attitudes of being a pilot, the one incident that I'll talk about first is, did you guys see the one where the flight instructor they were doing a night cross country and they knew there was weather and the instructor was not being very professional with the students, and they ended up flying so close to a supercell that it ripped the airplane apart and they were both killed? when I watched the breakdowns of that, I watched several breakdowns of that. I was almost in disbelief of what I was watching, and I'm the first to joke with people, and I like gotta have a thick skin, especially being somewhat in the public eye when you're a content creator. But even YouTube aside, like I've always been that way. Like I'm the guy that makes the inappropriate joke and someone gets offended. I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's just a joke. So I'm all for, I mean, that doesn't bother me. But what we saw in that breakdown was a complete breakdown with the responsibility that an instructor bears upon teaching men and women to be aviators. It doesn't matter if you're instructing to become, get your time and bounce out, or if you're a career instructor. You have a massive responsibility to those that you teach. And I feel like there's just a lack of awareness of that responsibility, if that makes sense. A Prodigy, thank you for the €5 donation. Very kind. Nighty night, V1 and crew, gotta leave. It's late around here, but we'll watch the VOD for what I'm gonna miss. Hey, A Prodigy, appreciate the $5 super chat. Very kind. I appreciate you. Get some rest. Thank you for tuning in here while you can. Sam says that was painful to watch. I've seen some slightly cocky instructors, but nothing to that level. I know. AJ is straight rage. Yes. You guys probably are probably aware of it. John says you nailed it. V1 accidents happen, but some of these are just plain hard to fathom. You're flying a single engine plane in the end. Exactly. And I hope, I don't know. I don't really know what's going to slow it down or what the remedy is going to be, because the way that the pilot environment is right now, you can get a job at an airline if you have the basic minimum requirements. I mean, it is pretty much, you've got the minimum time, you can get hired. And it hasn't always been that way, but with the way it is right now, people know that, instructors know that, so they are literally there to just grind, get their hours, and go. Like there is no, I don't want to say there is none, but I feel like there is a immense lack of understanding of the responsibility that you have, even if you're just there to time build so you can move on. I was an instructor. I instructed for several years, and I knew my goal was to get out. Like I knew that was my end goal, but that didn't matter. Every single flight that I took with a student, you always had to remember that, hey, this is your spot right now. I mean, you can look to the future, and I know what the end goal is, but you have to keep and bear in mind your current state and what's happening around you. I feel like that's getting overlooked rather. I was lucky to train 12 years ago, right before tech became so popular. John, yeah, that's another good point. The tech is going up crazy. Aviation Lover says, any tips of how I can become a pilot? I'm a VAT sim controller in the Caribbean. Aviation Lover, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, Aviation Lover 2111, the best tip I can give you, if you haven't even got into it yet, you're just starting, you need to take the first steps. So you need to go to the local flight schools that are around you or that are an option for you. You need to go look at the financial impact that it's gonna have on you and your family. I don't know how old you are, if you have a family or not, but that's the first step. That's my number one tip right now, is to get out and take that first step. Go do your intro flight. Go do a flight school. They have intro flights where you go up for about an hour or so, just under an hour. Go do that. Get your feet wet, and then the next step will be selecting a flight school or the validity of becoming a pilot based on finances, availability of your time, and other factors. And then if those all check out, then that step is selecting a flight school. My tip for flight school is, though, with the way the hiring is right now, I would choose a flight school that has a career pathway program. So whether you go through one of the quote-unquote puppy mills like ATP or whatever it may be, you want to get out to a flight school that has a program that has a career track laid out for you if airlines are your end goal. Aviation 101 has a good video about the video. Thrusstet, I'll have to check out Aviation 101. I'm not familiar with that channel. I don't watch too many real world aviation breakdown, incident, accident, stuff like that. I mostly watch Blanco Lirio because I think he's an interesting guy. I mean, he's cut and dry, to the point. I can throw it on when I'm driving to and from the airport, commuting to work. And, yeah, but just, I feel like the last couple of weeks, it's just been incident, accident, accident, accident. Scary stuff. Oh, yeah, beef, that's a good spot. Yeah, get your medical first. Get your medical first. I did a discovery flight a couple weeks ago, and because I had sim experience, the instructor let me taxi the plane and fly some while we were in the air. Velociraptor, that's awesome. When we were done, he said he thought I'd be a good pilot. Hey, Velociraptor, that's great. Next step, what's the validity of getting that PPL, right? Financial, time, commitment. If those all check out, take the next step. Bring us back some tequila. It says, oh, from Tyson, dropping in to give you a like. Can't stay long, flying to Mexico in the morning to spend the holidays with the in-laws. Merry Christmas. Tyson, enjoy, my friend. Have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. We'll see you when you get back, my friend. Cheers. Did you happen to watch Blanco about the Alaska-Hawaii merger? Sam F., no, I didn't. What was his key points on that one? That Alaska-Hawaii merger, everyone's all like, oh, that's so crazy. What is Blanco Lirio saying about that? I'm about to graduate from Liberty with an undergrad in aviation. Ooh, Skyfall, good deal, man. Someone told me, why am I getting this stutter? Do you guys see that? Like it's a consistent stutter. Hold on, let me see something here. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna see if this fixes it. Give me a second. Let's see if that changes it. Someone told me that someone pulled back with not enough airspeed. It was not straight, so he put full rudder and one leg was shorter than the other. Huh. That's not good. Aviation doesn't do accidents, an instructor and cinematic filmmaker, but he did a video about bad instructors. Oh, really? Well, I'm going to have to check it out. I'm familiar with it. I'll have to check it out. Look at this marine layer moving in here. This is really cool. We're getting some stream stutter as well. Yeah, I don't know what that was. So I've shut off a couple of things here. I don't know what that could be in the background. I really don't know what that was all about. TDS, I do have it closed out in the sim tray now. I wonder if it's because I tried messing with it earlier. That's probably what it was. I'm just probably just have to uninstall the whole thing. XP is in the chat. Good to see you, XP72. Blanco Lirio said the merger won't be successful until everyone is equally unhappy. Well, that couldn't be more true. The whole Blanco Lirio spitting facts out. That is true. In any merger, no merger is complete until everyone is equally unhappy. And that's going to be an interesting one because you've got some polar opposites as far as some basing situations. I've been seeing some memes about the first time a Hawaiian crew has to do a Anchorage overnight, just all the funny memes and stuff. It's pretty good. But always a pleasure to see XP in the chew. No streaming tonight, XP? What's up with that? The one and only. Douglas says, I did all my flight training at a Part 141 school, and I'm thankful for that. Plus in and out of Honolulu? Is that PHNL? So the ATC immersion helped a lot. Oh, yeah. Part 141 is a good way to go. It's not the end-all, be-all, so don't let that. Sometimes that intimidates people, like, oh, I have to be Part 141. I did my training Part 61.
Bank angle.
So.
Bank angle.
Happy holidays, V1.
Flight Force. Flight Force 77. Hey, happy holidays right back at you, Flight Force 77. Appreciate the support. Thank you for the $3 bank angle check, man. Hope you have a wonderful time up there in the Northeast. Hopefully it's not too cold, my friend. Tough part of the GA trend is not going to, it's going to make it more likely that the FAA clamps down harder. Yes, I think that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, it all I think the whole Trevor Jacobs thing was the initial, like, you know, candle to the powder keg of scrutiny upon content creators in aviation. I think that brought the eyes to the content creators of aviation. And now with that happening, you've got now you know, these other accidents that happen, plus all the eyes that were already there. Man, there's like some doors slamming outside. I don't know what's going on out there. What's going on out there? All right, looks like everyone's closing up shop. Hopefully, now this will be, so here's my theory. So the office next to me, they just wrapped up and they closed their lights. So we shall see. We're at 67.27 on the dropped frames. We'll see if that holds. Bummed to miss the ultra long haul, but I'll have a bucket of beer watching the Broncos. Hey, Tyson, you know what? I didn't realize that we have a bunch of football on Saturday as well this week coming up. So I'm going to have to, I don't know. I really wanted to do a Friday night stream into Saturday, but I've got a trip on Friday that I picked up. I think it's a Florida. I think I'm going down to Fort Myers and back up. So I don't get back till late. So I don't know. I might have to see if I can move that around. I definitely want to knock the long haul out. The ultra long haul will be this weekend. I'm just tentatively scheduled right now. I'm at a 141 school. It's kind of rough. Too much overbooking. Going to go back, park 61 back home in like 2 weeks when I get my instrument check right done. Oh, Rex, really? Well, keep us informed of your progress, my friend. Keep us informed. Overbooking. I can only imagine the amount of booking and congestion that is happening at all 141 schools right now. I think that is probably a very common problem right now in the current landscape of the aviation environment. EKM Surfboards, welcome to Prime Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Appreciate the support, EKM. I'm trying to remember what my custom surfboard, who made my custom surfboard. It's been a long time ago. Gosh. I went all the way out to Hawaii to pick it up. I can't remember who made it now. That's how long it tells you. I was never very good on it. But welcome to the channel. Glad to have you on board. Appreciate the support. Did you see the rumor about, I think it's Continental making a 6-cylinder diesel Jet A engine that's supposed to fit in the Navajos? I have not, Canadian. That's pretty wild. I have not seen that rumor. I don't think that airframe needs any more upgrades. Let's just let it be. You start putting more power on airplanes that weren't designed for it, you start to have structural integrity problems. Velociraptor said, the place I did my discovery does both, but recommends 141 so they can do the check ride themselves. Yes, and not have to go to the FAA to get them done. That is correct. So you can do in-house instruction and check airmen and et cetera. So I've actually done that at 141 school. So I worked at a 141 with Asiana, doing their students when that was a hot and heavy thing, but that shut down years ago. But definitely familiar with the whole 141 landscape. Brian says, one thing I realized on my in real life night cross country is that runway lights are damn hard to see compared to the sim. Oh, yes, especially with Miami. Yes, Brian, so that's one thing all sims have got wrong, even going back to the FSX days. And I remember the very first time I was in, I did my very first night flight for real. I was in South Florida, and my instructor said, well, I know you like the flight sim, but got bad news for you. The airport lights are never as bright as they are in the sim. Like, oh, okay. I mean, going back to the OG flight sims, like even 2000, I think FS 2000, same thing. Like you go at night, even and you think, oh, well, that looks right. The airport lights up now. The airport lights are much, much harder to see at night than all sims make out to be. But that kind of hits on the recency of experience that Sam mentioned when we first started the stream. So a lot of the accidents, it does seem to be where folks are getting trained, they're getting their minimum qualifications done, and then they're like, all right, I got my ticket to go out and do whatever. And while that is true legally speaking, to go out and do whatever you need to do, I gotta trim this out here, the rotor trim's a little out of whack. There is a huge factor on being legal and being current. And whether being current means legally current with your 3 takeoffs and landings within the 90 days at night for night currency, or what is your personal minimum for currency. So that is a big thing, is your personal minimums. When you're flying GA, it doesn't matter if you're an airline pilot or or just someone who has their own Cessna 150. Like, you have to have your own personal minimums when you go up on your own. And a lot of times that is not the legal minimums, because the legal minimums in some scenarios, if you're not physically, mentally prepared, a lot of the FAA legal minimums for certain things are pretty bare bones. Night flying being one of them. One that I can think of that I'm applying to this stream here. I don't know why the frames keep dropping. So my theory was incorrect. Frames are just still dropping a little bit. I don't know what's going on. Is mountain flying. So there really is no regulation to, well, you have to go fly in the mountains to be certified to go fly in the mountains. No, once you get your PPL, I mean, you can fly anywhere. Now, you get trained the bare bones about density, altitude. You get trained bare bones on performance and how that affects the airplane and the physiological effects it has on your body when you're flying at higher altitudes. Even though, what is the oxygen requirement for Part 61? Like, what is it, 12,000, 12,500, or something like that? But if you're cruising around at 11,000 feet or 11,500 at night, you will have different effects on your body, even though it's legal for you to do so. And if you're not familiar with those effects, it can lead to a spiral of events that could ultimately end in your demise. So recency, legitimate recency, as opposed to legal currency, are two different things. It's frustrating when the aliasing decides Pappy pixels aren't the important ones. V1 stoked to join from Jupiter, Florida. I put out a post today, FS Reborn 500 or Simwings PC-12 or TBM, and why? I only have money for one. Thanks, my friend. Oh, let's help out EKM Surfboard. So if y'all have props in chat, I don't have the FS Reborn 500. I do have the SWS PC-12, and I also have the TBM, obviously. Of the ones that I own, my favorite is the TBM in its current state, because while the PC-12 is a phenomenal airplane, I think it hand flies really well. It's very docile. It's very easy to fly. The TBM is more like a wild bronco. You got to tame it. The zero failures as of right now and the zero accrued damage, it's almost like somebody mentioned this earlier. It's almost like playing a game, or like playing a first-person shooter game in God mode, where like you can't die. So, and while that's not important to everyone, it's important to me in the sim. Example of that being, I did a stream where we flew the PC-12 and then the TBM back to back. PC-12, everything was fine, no worries. I get in my TBM, because I have the accrued engine damage and the wear and tear. On one flight, we had a fuel leak develop and a governor failure. The governor failure could have been remedied had I done a proper run-up. I didn't do a proper run-up, had a governor failure in flight. So I like that aspect of the TBM. It gives you purpose to do things the right way, and I like that in an airplane. Now, I know that's coming with a PC-12, but it's not implemented yet, so I got to put the TBM over the PC-12. The FS Reborn, I don't have it yet. I've heard it's phenomenal. The reason I don't have it is because I don't like G1000s. Look how juicy this cockpit is. I mean, this is a juicy cockpit. This is the perfect amount of glass for me. So that's why I haven't picked it up yet. But we need to go ahead and descend down. I'm going to go ahead and pull vertical speed. We'll engage it at 200 feet per minute. We'll engage, and down we go. We got to do some prepping for our arrival here. We got to find the field elevation as well. Field elevation, I think, is like 6,000. So we'll start down. Let's pull out the Navigraph. Talking about currency and recency, let's hit on some of the threats as we go into Lima 05 today. So I'm going to hide this chart here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Lima 05. So this is what I really like about Navigraph now. Let's go ahead and pull out our VFR charts. Actually, no, let's pull out our sectional charts. FAA sectional. This is a real nav chart. So we're going direct to the airport now. We're 34 miles out. I'm going to actually slow down because we're coming in too hot already. We need to increase this rate of descent too. So let's go ahead and let's scroll that in about 15. Vertical speed it down, 1,500 feet per minute. Engage. Why aren't you engaging? I know I started down. That'll catch up. Vertical speeding down. I had to start down. That's why our cabin pressure's coming up. That should extinguish here momentarily. All right. Lima 05 Airport. It is tucked away here. We got to pick out our visual landmarks. So we know Isabella Lake is going to be the easiest one to spot. We got to come over Isabella Lake, and that's going to set us up. As far as the airport itself, do we have any weather information? Weather. The closest airport, calm winds, 4 miles, haze, clear skies, 29 or 9 or 5, temperature 14. So we should be able to pick out the airport. Let's talk about threats coming in here. No procedures, there's no charts, it's straight visual. I don't even think there's a taxi chart. There's not even a taxi diagram. So looking at the threats right away, we've got a tower to the south of the lake at 2746 MSL. We have the airport itself, which is sitting at an elevation of 2,600 feet. So let's put 1,000, 3,500. Let's go ahead and dial in 4,000. Let's do, yeah, 4,500. 4,500. Why is our cabin pressure still? That differential is what's getting us. We're coming down. All right. We know we got some towers. Let's talk about a go around. Looking at the terrain when we zoom out here, we can see the highest sector altitude, 10,500 over here, 8.6 to the left. If for some reason we got to punch out, like we got a terrain 8,300 foot peak here, we know the weather, the sun is getting dimmer, so we got to make our approach and get in while we can. The best approach will be a straight in. If we're too high, what we'll do is we'll do a turn around over the lake here because we know there's no terrain over the lake, and then we'll try to come up this little channel here and go straight in into the airport. Now, if we have to go around, we're not going to make any turns. I'm just going to continue to fly the river until we can climb up and come back around, make a second approach if we have time. So that's pretty much our only brief that we need to worry about. You know, you could look at, there's a tower out here to the left, which is very high, 7,200 foot tower, considering that is well above our pattern altitude. So we definitely have a lot of threats as far as terrain is concerned, especially as it gets dark. One thing that I think a lot of people don't understand either is that at night, mountains are black. You don't see them. So if you're not recent at night, when you go flying at night, how do you see a mountain? It's literally a black hole. So it can be very easy to fly into terrain at night if you're unfamiliar with the terrain around you. So I think we got enough time for one approach here, and then we should be good. So I can see Kern Valley up there. I'm going to bring the power back already. I'm going to bring the power up. We'll increase our rate of descent here even more. Let's go vertical speed 2,000. All right, there's our cabin pressure. It looks like our differential finally caught up. So we're descending on down. Everything looks good. Inert SEP will actually, we don't need it. Let's keep it off for right now. But we probably will turn it on final approach. So we're on our way down. We're going to be going through 10,000. We'll get our lights on in pulse mode. So I can see Lake Isabella. It looks like it's right there. We probably will have to do a 360 heading turn. Matter of fact, why don't we do that right now since we're nice and high? I think it'll be a perfect segue. We'll go into heading mode. I'm going to go ahead and just make a 360 degree turn out to the east at a 14,000. That way we can just fly right on in there. In Soviet Russia, the mountain sees you, exactly. Rex Roy says, I'm paying $190 an hour for sim and $300 an hour for plane. Oh my gosh. I've only gotten 15 real hours and about 35 in the sim, 25K in, and really only have 15 hours. Their claim is the sim is cheaper, of course. Well, 300 at 300 an hour. Oh my word, Rex. Rex, I think you were doing the right move then, pulling out of that 141. I don't know what the landscape is for 141 right now as far as the schools, but that seems a little excessive. So yeah, I think you're doing the right. I think you're making the right call, pulling out, going 61. Don't let 61. Just, oh, you got your risk 61. You're not going to be an airline pilot. That's not true at all. Nobody cares. You know how many times I was asked in an interview, Oh, did you get 61 or 141? 0. Nobody cares. And that was from interviews from flying freight, flying corporate, regionals, and airlines. Like, as long as you get the time, that's all that matters. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at the haze is coming in though. So yeah, we only have one shot for this approach. I think that'll be perfect. This haze though coming in here is absolutely juicy. Love Microsoft Flight Sim. The Navajo here is $4.99 Canadian hours, about $3.70 an hour. That's and that's a Navajo. Jeez. Thrust set, yes, this is a very spicy approach, followed by a lot of high terrain. So we need to, no messing around. We're not flying conspicuous cargo. We're treating this as if this was my PC or my TBM 850. We're going to treat it as such. We're going to make good decisions tonight. That is the whole point, not the whole point, but that is a point of emphasis, if you will. A point of emphasis on tonight's stream is making good decisions. Speaking of good decisions, let's go ahead and update your altimeter, 2909.6. I'm going to keep working that torque back here. All right, so we're starting to get below a little bit. Now let's go ahead and start going back towards the lake. We can probably shallow out that descent rate. Let's come back up about 1,500 feet a minute. While we still have good see and avoid the terrain right now, I'll go ahead and re-nav it up. I might even just stay in heading mode. I'll tell you what, let's just heading mode it in all the way. I'm gonna fly right through here. So we're gonna go heading. We're gonna take it easy. We're gonna right past this ridge. Let's shallow this out even more. Let's come down to 1,000 feet.
1102 hotel, 25 miles south, inbound 3035.
Current traffic, TBM 357 Bravo Mike. We're about 17 miles to the south of Current, setting up for a straight in. Current traffic. All right, ready?
I'll do some method and put my feet back. Give me some time to fly into high terrain.
Roger that.
Canville traffic, TBM 714 Bravo Victor. We are 12 miles south, straight in, runway 5.
I can see him.
Traffic.
I can see that TBM. He's in front of us. All right, so we're leveling, or not, we're not leveling. We're continuing our descent down. We're going to heading mode it around here into the valley. All of our external lights are on. Let's go ahead and look at our fuel tanks. We're in auto or fullest. Auto is fine right now. Aux boost pump is in auto. Pressurization looks good. And everything else looks good. We're 1900. I brought the prop up to 1900 there. Got it out of that quiet cruise. I'm going to come back on the speed a little bit now. Don't come down with a case of get there-itis. Exactly, Jeff. Let me get my flight recorder up. Canadian says, I tried to find my POV flying videos of the Navajo and put 1 or 2 in the Discord. Nice. Have some of them 24-knot crossings. Hell yeah, Canadian. I got a video of myself in the Chieftain. A couple of videos on my channel from back in the day, man. Or maybe I think I have. I know I have them on the hard drive. I have one that complete max weight out of a very short strip. Got a little bit spicy. All right, here we go. Gonna keep vertical speeding it down. We're heading over. Runway 05. Is it runway 05? So there's the lake. Looking good. Trying to maintain a speed about 180 knots. Current traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. We're about 10 miles out now, south of the airport, setting up for a straight in current. Is it runway 05? Is that the runway's layout? Let me double check. Kern. Runway 35, and no, it's runway 35 and 17. There, that sounds better. 35 and 17. Canyon Runner, welcome. Glad you finally made a stream. We're doing a little after dark fun flying tonight. Little after dark fun flying. We'll go down 2,000 now that we can see. And our 4,500 feet, that's fine. That's about 1,000 feet above. So the airport should be right up in through here. No V1 Aviation arborist services. Nope. There's 1,000 feet to level off. My whole summer was taken off at 6,800 pounds max takeoff weight because of the nacelle tanks we had them to do 6 hour legs. Oh, Canadian. That's rough, my friend. I think the longest legs we did were like maybe 2 hours. All right,
Campbell traffic, 714 Bravo Victor, we're 5 miles final from West 35, Campbell traffic.
all right, we'll slow down here. We'll do about 140 knots, 4,600. Let's go ahead and drop down to 3,500. Let me double check. Field elevate, yeah, 3,500. So there we go. 3,500, that's what we'll do. Vertical speed it down. I can see the traffic in front of me. Current traffic TBM 7 Bravo Mike, about 6 miles out. We've got the traffic in front of us in sight. We'll follow you in runway 35, current. All right, so I got the traffic in front of us in sight. Oh, this is nice. Coming right down through here in Sunset. John, gotta run. Take it easy. I'll watch the rest of my commute into work. Take it easy, John. Appreciate you stopping by. Good decisions. All right, I'll put away the Jägermeister and Red Bull. Steven. You're a bad influence, my friend. All right, I'm going to go ahead and... I was going to disconnect. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to slow down. I'm going to square this out here a little bit. So what I like to do... Well, I was going to set my course knob to 350, but that's all right. Get that power out of there. Oh, this is looking juice. Let's go ahead and start the recording. Imagine 6 hours with the oxygen. Oh no, dude. Those would be bleeding. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Autopilot's off. Flight director's off. Yaw damper is off. Let's go ahead and start configuring and slowing down here for real. Let's go flaps approach. I do feel like there should be some snow here, Beef. I don't know why there's no snow yet.
Number 3 for landing on runway 35.
Gears coming down. 3 mile final. There's the runway. Really hard to make out. Let's set our cameras up. We're going to go right through these valleys here. 110 on the speed. I'm going to bug my heading to 350 so I know approximately the runway. Oh wow, this is getting real dark here. Let's go ahead and go full flaps on this approach.
Campbell traffic, 714
Solid.
Bravo Victor, we're cleared from West 35, Campbell
100
traffic.
knots. Let's try to maintain about 100 knots here. Props coming up, full forward. Current traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike, we're short final, 35. There's our inert SEP, clear the caution. I'm glad we rolled the sim time back when we did. Yeah, another 20 minutes we wouldn't be able to get in. No lights, no approaches. Absolute juice. There's a freeway airport I want to pick up for this. We'll have to come back here to visit. Got a nice tree right on final approach. I don't think that's there in real life, so we're going to have to come in over the numbers here. Chop and drop it, baby. Chop and drop. Here we go.
Current traffic, November 1102 Hotel, short final runway 35, current traffic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kern. That was pretty epic. Let's go ahead and get off the runway, though. My guy's behind us. Where's my prop? Is my prop stuck?
It's only Skyfall.
Who's that in the back? Current traffic TBM 7 bro. Clear 3-5. All right, we'll clean it up. Stop the recording. Got our inert SEP on in case we go into the dirt here a little bit. That's fine. Taxi light is on. Oh, look, we got a traffic landing. How cool is that? Minus 66 FUD life? Is that what it was? I'll take it. So I got to get used to what they did with the idle. They've definitely adjusted the range at which you're in beta on the ground. It's almost like my idle position now is more beta than
Ooh, you
before.
smashed out.
Ooh, that looked hard. Oh, he's sliding. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We've lost one. Oh, goodness. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
My rudder just disconnected, RV.
I'm going to say, do you think his rudder disconnected, chat? Curtin Valley, there's a fantastic burger joint and airplane camping on the field. Spent a lot of time there during COVID. Really, Wingnut? Man. Yeah, we had a pretty sweet approach in here. There's a freeware that I need to install for Kern. I've never been here in real life, but I definitely know of it. I'll try not to touch tips here. We'll take it down to the other end, and then we'll load up and blast out of here. PC-12 problems. Were you in a PC-12?
Yeah, I was in a PC-12. My rudder just moved on me. Wasn't stable.
Sounds like PC-12 problems. All right, so this is really going to be sus. Taking off out of here at night. Is there a... We might have to back taxi. Is there a taxiway over there? I don't think there is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it around right here. This looks good. There's the master warning. We'll clear the caution. That's all coming off. We'll close the inert SEP. We'll go ahead and kill the autopilot and trims. We'll kill the... Actually, before we kill the radio master, let's just go ahead and set up a new waypoint of K. Where are we going? TVL. It's 60 miles out, direct track. Actually, no, let's go here. That's not correct. $204 miles. That's going to be quite the jaunt. Let's go ahead and not waste any time and get out of here. All right, that's all off. That's all off. And let's go up here. Actually, before we go up there, we need to come down here. Let's go ahead and turn the bleed off. We are at 0. That's good. We'll leave that in auto. We'll turn that off for right now. We'll turn the fuel pump off. Auto select manual. Up top, ignition off. We'll keep the, we'll turn the pulse off, keep the strobes on, and let's kill it. Little nav map, just hangars that way. All right, cool. Love that prop spool down. All right, we'll go ahead and stop it here. We'll kill both of those cautions. We'll pretend that we're on the GPU. Look at the lights change. We're connected to ground power. We'll go ahead and kill the EFIS as well. We got our flight plan on because we're on the Radio Master on. Still on the GPU. Let's go ahead and put our transponder standby. And let's take our look at our payload here. What do we need for fuel? I'm going to do a quick fuel check here for Telluride. I might actually do a little slight adjustment to our flight plan. Let me go here. Let me do a new flight here. Let's just see what it would give us. I should have had enough fuel on board. This has a slightly different route, which we're going to take. So I'm actually going to file this one, just in case anybody comes online. So we'll go ahead and generate this flight, and I will file it. Looks like we've got a couple of waypoints. TTE, CZQ, LIN, and then up from there. Let's pre-file on a network, VATSIM, and filed. That all looks good. Got our new flight plan. We're filed. Let's come down here and let's do some adjusting. Can I delete? Let's just delete the whole thing. Delete all flight plan. We're going to go ahead and start it up. Let's go Lima 05. From Lima 05, we are going direct to Tango Tango Echo for our night flight. That's Tool. From TTE, we're going direct to CZQ. I feel like I know that. VOR, CZQ. Oh, that's Clovis. After Clovis, Lynn. Lima, India, November. Linden. Southwest USA, that's the one I want. Mileage checks out. From Lynn, Hotel November Whiskey. After Hotel November Whiskey, the last one is Sierra Whiskey Romeo. And then we're going to set up for an approach into Telluride tonight. So that's Palisades. We'd love to see GSX update for suspicious cargo. Ground crew would have machine guns. Catering truck would be... I bet you there's a mod. I bet you could definitely do that. That would be pretty funny. All right. And TVL. So, Kilo, Tango, Victor, Lima. South Lake Tahoe, enter that. Boom. And we need to go, let's go actually pull our flight plan up. Let's go, oh, clear, cancel. First fix, direct TTE. That's what it looks like. Looking good. All right. Fuel, 1,700 pounds is what we need. Let's go ahead and weight and balance check here. All right, pounds. Our strobes are still on. Let's top it off. That's 9. That's 1,000. We need a little more. We need. There we go. That's. We'll take a little extra. That should be good. As far as weights go, let's see if we can. Let's go TBM mode. Let's go about 400 below. 400 below our max takeoff weight. So that is set. We're ready to get out of here. We're sitting on the GPU. GPU startup, and let's roll. So let's close up the door. I love this airplane. Be cool if we can get out of here before it's completely dark. All right, strobe is on. Nav's coming back on because we are starting. We're on generator. We can turn this gen off. We're on GPU, generator off. Aux boost pump on. Manual, we'll clear that. ECS is off. Generator off. Let's go ahead and hit the starter. Struggling. Is this suspicious after dark? Migs, good evening. Low idle. We're getting a light off. We're getting a hung start. Let's kill it. Cut off on the fuel. Oh, our ignition was never on. Son of a gun. Kill the start. Spool it down. Good thing we did a GPU start. I thought that was a hung start, but I didn't see the ignition light. You guys hear the strobes? Hear that? Isn't that cool? All right, let's try that again. We're idle forward, cut off. We waited our cooldown time. Ignition on, starter engage. We'll watch this one from the inside. We'll be real careful on this one. NG's on the rise. Jeez, first time. Mickey G, good to see you. I swear the starter was on. Look at the ITT cooling. Just gonna, about 17. There's the light off. ITT rise. I'm ready to cut it just in case it goes hot. 725. There's a rollback. NG's moving, prop is moving. 50%. High idle. Starter off. Main generator on. Battery. Gyros RMIs are on. We'll go auto on the boost pump. Auto. Auto. Bleed into auto. We'll turn that on. She's up and running now. That was suspicious. Yeah, wingnut, the ITT rollback as it's rotating. And they got all the things in this thing. I love this prop. I love this airplane. All right, we're gonna make it super cozy in here. Do we need a cabin access light? Seatbelt check. All right, everyone's got their seatbelts on because I don't know how this takeoff's gonna look. Go ahead and kill the access light. Up the panel just a little bit. Inert SEP's coming out. Reset our trims for takeoff. Takeoff trims are set. We're going up to 200. Oh, that's 3,000 feet a minute. What's going on here? There we go. All right, 200 is set. Inert SEP is on. Light them up. Let's go. Turn traffic to get some run line contact at 35. Definitely gonna need flaps approach. Brakes release. Let's go.
Current traffic, TBM 714 Bravo Victor, about taxiing runway 35.
All the lights are on because we're going out on the runway. V1 would go fly 1900, Beach 300 with his current salary any day, pretty sure. Yeah, if it's got a lav. It's got to have the lav. If you could get me a King Air 350, pay me the same, give me the same schedule, and give me a working lav, I'll fly it. This is going to be definitely sus coming out of here. I don't even have terrain. Do I have not terrain mode on this thing? I thought maybe we could have terrain. I don't think we even have terrain on our G530. Turn the small knob for terrain. Let me look when I get down here so I don't run off into the dirt. Ah, yes, some nice pitch black mountains in front of you. Yep. All right, flaps are set for takeoff. Shot that big time. You always took off 174 terrain? Well, probably would have been the wise thing to do, Wingnut. All right, where is terrain mode? I swear it had terrain. Ah, there we go. Nav page 3. All right. That's a whole lot of red out in front of us, chat. That is a whole lot of red out in front of us. Cabin secure, ready for takeoff. Here we go. Full send. Let's sync that heading bug. Current traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike, departing runway 35 current. We're actually going to hold the brakes on this one for sure. Props coming up to the governor. Power set. Let's go. Take a little while to get that airspeed moving. Airspeed's alive. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Man, and that is why you buy a TBM. That is why you buy a TBM. Get up here through 100 knots. Flaps up. We're going to follow the valley. We're going to follow the river. We're going to maintain about 130 knots indicated here. So we'll really get some climb rate going. Watch this. About a 330 on the heading. Pitching for that 130. Almost max weight. We're doing 2,000 feet a minute.
Current traffic. TBM 7 for Bravo Victor, departing runway 35 to the west. Current traffic. Got to love it. Steven, you can't see anything? We're at a 4.5, looking good. We're trimmed out. Could even go 850 mode here if we wanted to.
go ahead and establish the yaw damper, autopilot,
Current traffic.
heading, IS.
Number 881, Tango Whiskey, back taxi.
Whoa, where are you pitching for there? Let's make sure the IS hold doesn't wig out. Oh, we forgot to do the GTN hot swap. I think it's, so it's actually doing it, it's just not indicating as we thought earlier. Great fly fishing in the river. Valley is also a low-level route for military jets. Oh, really? Dude, that's awesome. Dude, how would you like to be fly fishing? That's exactly what I want to be down there fly fishing and just watch some, like, fast movers come down. Be sweet. All right, we're 130 knots. Screw it. Let's go rental car mode. 850 mode is on. Watch that torque. Watch that torque. Wants to juice up. 118 right about now. Should be fine according to the charts. I'm going to walk that prop back right off the governor a little bit. Let's bring it back just a hair. And that is why you buy a TBM. 850 mode removes the torque limiter. So with flaps, or with 850 mode off, or in any flap configuration, your torque, you want to limit to 100% torque. Now, there is a torque limiter if you were to exceed it, but the torque limiter is often inaccurate, and sometimes it doesn't even prevent damage. Even true to the real airplane, it's in the manual. It says even though there is a limiter, you should set your power as there is no limiter. You should set it as if you don't have one. But theoretically, I think it'll limit you right around the 101 mark. But once you go 850 mode, your torque is no longer restricted. You can only do it when your flap's clean, and you're obviously clear of terrain, and you don't mind making your engine work super hard. Vega, great hanging out. Have to head out now. Enjoy Lake Tahoe. Vega, appreciate you, man. Good evening. Have a good one. All right, I think we are going to be clear of most terrain. Let's go ahead and redirect the GPS. We'll clear that off. We'll go flight plan. We'll redirect us. Cursor, direct, activate, and navigate. In the turn, getting ready to go through 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and kill those lights. Nav strobe's on. Everything else looks good. Let's go ahead and pitch down a little bit. Now, I don't know if it will actually do the proper IAS decrease. We're going to see here. So let me try this. I don't think so. So what we'll do is I will do vertical speed. Actually, let's go ahead and come down about 1,300 feet a minute. Oh, we never reset our pressurization. Climb, baby, climb. Max cabin altitude. Hope you don't have a sinus blockage. We are climbing. We'll set our cabin temp right about there. And we only need the fan. All right, she's climbing. Yeah, we're doing 150 now. A little VY climb out. I swear the other day I saw King Air 350 doing something like 4,000 feet a minute ahead of YQB. Probably, man. King Air can do it. The King Air is an absolute beast. It is. I mean, not to say the TBM isn't a beast. The TBM is a beast in its respective single engine. Oh, we still have our inert SEP on too. In its single engine environment or single engine competition. The King Air, however, the twin PT6 is an absolute different kind of beast. Oh wow, with that inert SEP, we're really starting to get some performance. And watch that. Oh no, we over torqued it. That inert SEP closed. You see our torque went way up over a red line. Gotta watch that. Let's do a 110. We'll do a moderate 850 mode. So moderate 850, 110 torque. We're looking good. Hopefully we didn't hurt our engine right there. We over torqued it a little bit. Daddy, why are my ears bleeding? Sorry, son. It's time to put your cowboy pants on, become a man. Allie Sammy, good evening. Canadian says, I do have a sinus blockage. Did some renovations in my house and managed to get a sinus blocked. Oh, man, that's awful, Canadian. Gotta be careful when you do that, man. I actually ruptured my right eardrum when I was flying freight. I wasn't in a Navajo. I was in a Beech 99, which is the unpressurized, basically 200 unpressurized King Air, and a lot more janky. It's not as nice as a King Air, but you get the picture. Twin PT6, and I had a really bad blockage, and on my descent into Pampa, Texas, middle of nowhere, Texas, Perry LaForce Field. At like 8,000 feet, I just could not go down anymore. I just couldn't descend. Every time I started the vertical speed down, and then we didn't have vertical speed autopilot or anything, but anytime I increased my descent or made a descent out of 8, it was just excruciating. So I even held over the field for a little bit, and I tried creeping down as gentle as I could, and then it started to become an issue of fuel. So I just started down on a normal descent, and it actually ruptured my right eardrum. Had fluid and blood come out of it. Not good. And it's the same ear that I have tinnitus on now too, so shout out all my freight dogs out there. But sinus blockage is no joke, man. Even in the Airbus, if I have something, or if I know there's a lot of infants on board, I'm gonna get the crew count. I will adjust the cabin rate on the FMS, on the McDo in the Airbus. So I think default's at 350 feet per minute. I'll knock that sucker down 200 feet per minute. Makes it a little bit nicer for everybody. You know, a romantic sunset and some Korean love jazz. Hasabaso, I think we do need some jazz tonight. I think it's time for some jazz. What do you think, chat? Let's go ahead and turn it down. Let's come back here. Like, we can look at the outside view, but let's enjoy. Let's pretend this is my airplane, right? No, this is our airplane. Let's turn the reading light on. Do we need a reading light? Can I do it from here? Hey. Let's turn the reading light on. Can you turn? Hey, Wingnut, can you turn some tunes on up there? Wingnut's flying for me. Oh, before I turn tunes on, let me save that replay. TBM landing Lima 05. Replay is saved. Y'all have to remind me. I've been wanting to record the takeoffs. We got to start recording takeoffs. I haven't recorded. We need to start recording takeoffs. All right. Korean jazz. I think that's a great idea. Let's enjoy our premium airplane. This is too good. Keep an eye on the gauges up there, Wingnut, will you? You ruptured your eardrum driving, AJ? Were you driving down an altitude? I've been off flying for the last 12 months, though, so here in Quebec makes us unable to do aerial photography. Oh, the snow. Oh, yeah, I guess it does. So at least I can take my time to heal this thing. Do it. Get it healed up, man. Mile High Airlines, new business venture. Let's go in. Let's do it. I think we should start that business. Do you pack a fly rod, or did you pack a fly rod? Great rainbow brook trout, brown trout fishing around Lake Tahoe. Al, yeah, I sure do. I got it in the cargo. Oh, diving. Sorry, I thought you said driving, AJ. Diving. Oof. I was gonna say, man, were you like driving down a mountain? All right, Magic Barrel Ref key 290902 is set. 18.2 cabin is pressurizing. Things are looking good. Things are looking good, chat. How's our torques and temps? Are all within limits. Temps are getting a little hot. This is why I love the TBM. I mean, yeah, I mean it's not your PC-12 load capability, but this is beautiful. Can we fold out the table? Isn't there a table here? I thought you could. I don't want to open the door. I guess there's no table here. I thought there was a table here. There's no table here. V1 just joined in after the gym. Man, I should have went to the gym today, but I didn't. I decided to stream with you guys. That's what happens. You guys are a bad influence on me. Oh, look, you can even see the lights in the cabin. That is so cool. Planning to do an A320 flight? Any recommendations? Man, any recommendations for your A320 flight? Why are we leveling at 18,000? Oh, it's because we set. I don't know why we leveled at 18. Not sure. Depends on where you want to go, man. Anywhere on the West Coast is beautiful. PC-12 does have one distinct advantage over the TBM. It has a toilet. It does, Steven. You're absolutely right. Do we not have a honeypot back here? There is no honeypot back here. There's our fly rods and chocks. Yeah, you are absolutely right, Steven. Uh-oh. I didn't think about that. Good old Halifax to YYZ Air Canada. That's a good route. One of my favorites is still like Salt Lake, LA. I think that's still one of the best scenic routes you can do in the U.S. Salt Lake, LA. Or any rendition of that, like San Diego, Salt Lake. All right, leveling 20,000. Let's go ahead and bring that prop back a little bit. Watch that torque. Torque's increasing. Should have done torque first. We're going to cruise a little bit faster this time. I'm going to actually run the perf data for a max torque. Oh, we got a 59 knot headwind. Woof. We're only... Well... Yeah. I'm going to run a... max torque calculation. Where's my phone? Single pilot PC-12 are equipped with a P-tube that sucks the P. Alright, my TBM torque app. Altitude is 200. What's our OAT? Minus 21C. Is that's OAT. That's not SAT. How do we get SAT? So we could do... I guess so, yeah, just on the torque, on the TBM torque app, it shows IOAT or SAT. Oh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Hold on. Oh yeah, we can juice it up. We can go like 118 even. We got plenty of range. Let's watch, we're gonna be ITT limited though. We're gonna watch that ITT. Let's see what kind of get out of it. Any chance we'll see you back in a 732? Not in a 732 anytime soon, but you will see me in something tomorrow. A little something special. Let's see, where is it? Tomorrow, we are planning on doing this. 737-700 Citrus Ops. Love that livery. Got the Citrus Airtran. Got the black, matte black nose on there. We're going to sport the Throttletek 737 throttles. So that is what we got on the slate for tomorrow. Haven't picked a time yet. Probably normal stream time, probably around noonish, 1 o'clock. Random question. I flew into Boston today, landed 22 left. Simultaneously, there was a 737 landing on 27, which intersects 22 left. They intersect at the end, but I was wondering if this is common. Yes, it is common. Landing, departing, intersecting runways. One thing you do have to keep in mind, though, and ATC should have this already thought of, but they don't always do, because we just had an incident in Miami not too long ago. We had a very close loss of separation. But if you're doing converging runways like that, you got to be careful for go-arounds. So if you're doing intersecting runways, just keep an eye on the go-around. I landed Boston. Last time I landed Boston, same thing. I think we were landing 2-2 left, and then there was an Embraer on 2-7. But he also got the land and hold short clearance. So he's got land and hold short, and we're landing. So it always raises an eyebrow. It's definitely an increased threat. You want to keep an eye on it. Winglets are so mid. I know, AJ. Dude, I wish we had a 7.3 Classic. If we had a 7.3 Classic, it would be so awesome. I just can't. So AJ, I was in X-Plane 12 today. I got in there. Because I was doing the binding video, making sure I had everything set up. And I took the TOLUS off. I flew it around. It flies great in X-Plane. It does. X-Plane 12 flies wonderfully. But man, that sim is tired. It is so tired. Someone just needs to take it out behind the barn and do the dirty, because X-Plane is tired. Flies wonderful. Flight model great. 100%. Way you can bind your settings and everything, wonderful. Love it. But it's about it. It's about it. I never knew that. Was a bit confused seeing them come in. Yeah, Carson. Yeah, they come in. They do it in multiple airports. It is a common procedure, but it is definitely an increased threat for sure. Another similar situation is if they cross. I've had this happen a handful of times where you're on final, even if you're not landing on intersecting runways. But for example, Atlanta, this happened to me a couple weeks ago. We're landing 8 left. All parallel runways, right? No intersecting runways. But they cleared a helicopter to transition across the field at 1,500 or whatever it is. Pretty low. But he was crossing right over kind of the departure end. The problem with that is if we were to go around, he's going to be right there. That helicopter's going to be right there. So you always got to be aware of any time there is traffic crossing your finals, even if it's, you're not expecting anything, but you just got to keep an eye on it, because you never know. In that moment of a go around, when everything kind of goes crazy, the last thing you need is a TCAS, and depending on what altitude you're at, the TCAS is going to be inhibited. So you're down low level, that TCAS is inhibited, you got to have visual separation of that traffic. Quite common here. We always get the clear to land 2-9, hold short of 2-4. If you're able, just stay unable. Yep. If you get auto ortho, it's pretty good. My only problem with auto ortho is it's just running stuff in the background that I don't want running. I feel like it impacts frames and increases the odds of crashes to desktop. I never retrimmed out my rudder. We're over here slipping. So we're mustering 210 knots indicated, 230 across the ground with a 60 knot headwind. Ew. Work my trim out. Who decided to fly up here tonight? can I trim out? That might actually give us a little extra, a few extra knots, maybe. Auto Ortho, Visual XP, and Shade X, Auto DGS. Hey, look, I know there are ways to make it look good. Absolutely, there are definitely ways to make it look good. Look at all the, look, there's traffic out there, there's traffic behind us. I think we're gonna leave at night. Oh, look at that, that is so cool. Night lighting. I wish we had a night light so we can look at the wing. I know there is a way, and I know there are many of you that make X-Plane 12 look good with the add-ons, as you're saying. You know, you get the Auto Ortho, Shade X, Visual XP. My problem with it, though, is that I'm just so tired of having to spend more time trying to make my sim look good. I've been so spoiled by Microsoft. So spoiled. And as a content creator and as someone who like, so for instance, if you're not aware, my sim isn't even at my house, so I run this as a business. I have a separate office for my sim. So when I come into the office, I mean, it's an event. Like, it's 30-minute drive here, got everything set up and go. I do not want to spend the time and effort into having to make sure my scenery libraries are set up, making sure my config files are all set up. Like, I did it in the X-Plane 11 world, X-Plane 11 time, and I'm done. Microsoft, do a quick Google search. Hey, is the airport I'm flying to today, does it have a scenery? Cool, download, drop it in the community folder, launch the sim, and you're going. Ortho's taken care of, weather's taken care of, ground services. Well, I do have GSX, so GSX takes care of my ground services for me. That's it. But that's not bashing. I'm not trying to bash X-Plane. That's where I'm at. And I honestly believe, wow, look at that. I honestly believe if I had my sim in my house still, like when I first started this channel, I would still be an X-Plane much more. It's just that it really comes down to that fact that, like, I really have to maximize every minute I have when I'm trying to make content, and Microsoft allows me to maximize that time. Did you see the video of the guy has a King Air C90? Yes. Canadian, are we as YouTube like sharing our YouTube suggestions now? Because are you talking about the one guy that was like, yeah, well, growing up, my father had I don't know, some Piper or a Bonanza. Then we had this, and then I bought this airplane, but, you know, I want to take more people and I want to fly further. I'm like, what? My first question was like, what do you do? First of all, buying all these airplanes. Like, what do you do? And he's like, yeah, you know, the C90 was the best fit for my family. And I'm like, huh. I would love to be in that position where a C90 would be a good fit for my family. My personal airplane. If that's the same one, I'm pretty sure we watched it. And you're probably the reason why it ended up in my YouTube feed. I thought I saw something blinking in here. I wanted to make sure everything was kosher up front. Everything is. What's the cabin temp? 22C, that's a little bit warm. Let's go ahead and... I like 25. 25 is about... what, 75 Celsius? 75 Fahrenheit? Let's see if we can bump that up a little bit. We're on fan only, auto, everything else looks good. We should be able to juice it up. We're about ready to hit a turn here. Only reason I fly X-Plane 12 is basically Phoenix Flightbox are still far behind total terms of hand flying. Oh yeah, for sure. The hand flying in X-Plane, awesome. It's awesome. It really is. In all phases. That's the key, Kemal, is... Kemal, that's the key. The TOLUS, hand flying in all phases, yeah. Single engine, abnormal flight controls, definitely exceeds Microsoft. AJ, you think we all got the same suggestion? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did then. If everyone's got it, so did Kyle. He got it too. Piper 180 and then a Bonanza and the Malibu. Yes, exactly. That's it. It was funny. So my wife and I were watching it at the same time, almost at the same time. She's like, "What do you do?" And I was like saying the same thing out loud. Like, yep. Sorry, honey. Just an old crusty airline pilot. It's not with the Canadian salaries that'll be able to buy a King Air C90. Hey, not with my salaries either. I mean, what is a C90 cost? Let me look it up. What's an average? Like, what's a C90 on, like, Airplane Trader? C90 King Air for sale. Got any prices? New and used. Controller. That's the one I would want. Here we go. Here's a 1974 C90. 1.2 mil. Hold on, let's do this together. How do I do this? Window capture, yeah. Here you go. We can buy, let's 8,000 hours. Serial 627. 1.3 mil. Payments as low as 8,275 monthly. 1981, so this one's a little bit newer. 1.3 mil. What are the hours though? Total time 8,200. Max gross of 10.5. Honestly, it's actually cheaper than I thought, if I'm being completely honest. 1.3 mil. Carbon fiber. Ooh, that's nice. That is awesome. Oh, look at that cockpit. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the old school push to test knobs over here. They even got some GPS. Pull that thing out of there. Give me the old school radio stack. Nah. Looks like a GTN 750, really. Look at that though. That's the juice right there. That is the juice. Autopilot control knobs. That's actually a good looking King Air. 1.3 mil. Call for price. That's always a bad sign. A mil. 2.5 mil. All right. So what's a TBM 850 cost? Only cost 300 a year to maintain, pretty much. Are you a Rangers fan or Astros? I'm a Rangers fan, man. Year 1 Canada 737 MAX first officer makes 70,000 CAD per year. That's 52K USD. Yeah, listen, you're not going to get into the airline. If you want to get rich, and this has been true since even before many times, like years, pretty much forever. If you want to get rich, being an airline pilot is not the way to go. And there are guys that become airline pilots because they think they're going to get rich. And rich is a quote on, depends on your definition of rich. But you're not going to be buying King Airs rich for a very long time. Maybe at the very top end of your scale and your wide body captain pay, you might be able to swing it with a loan. But I mean, you're going to be, hopefully your wife's a doctor. TBM. Call for price. Why are we calling for price? The TBM is more? 2.2? I bet the operating cost is lower though. I think I looked at it the other day. Operating cost like per hour. I was looking at PC-12s for TBMs. This is actually, I'm surprised there. This is 2.4 mil? 2.5? Hell, give me a C90. Give me a C90 over a TBM. Although the TBM is probably a lot easier to maintain, a lot less fuel burn. You only got one engine. That's where they get you. One engine, one, you only have one fuel bill. As far as King Air, you're going to be sucking that gas. 5,400 hours, 4,000 landings, as low as 14,000 monthly. Mickey G, let's split one. 14,000 monthly by 2.2 TBM. Hey, that's only it's only $7,000 a month each, and we could make payments on this puppy. I wonder what interest rates are. Yeah, I think it's going to be out of our realm of possibility. How we doing in here? 84 miles to Lynn. What's after Lynn? Man, that's a long flight. Why do we go so far? Damn, this is a long flight, Chad. We should go direct TVL. That'll save some time. That'll be right over the mountains, though. That's scary. We'll be right over the mountains, middle of the night, if we go direct. It's got my tennis tape on there. I was wondering what they had on that. Yeah, probably just some regular tape. Yeah. Lauren, hey honey, why did you take out a $2 million mortgage? Nothing to see here. Maybe a Kit Fox is more in our price range. There you go. Canadians, yeah. Hey, but don't do it for free. That's the thing. That's the caveat. You don't want to do it for free. I know you will, but to maximize your earnings potential with your pilots, do not fly for free. Hold the bar high. That is why, that's part of the reason why our rates, I think, in the U.S. are what they are, is because of the unions, like the unionization of the workforce and forcing the company's hand and forcing the bar to be raised. It's when you get everybody that's willing to fly for free that drive the potential earnings down. I'll get my FAA license, we'll buy a C90, don't worry about it. You know, let's see, so if we're at 30,000 subscribers, if we got half the subscribers to donate $100, we might be able to make a purchase. We would need 15,000 subscribers to donate $100 to the channel. Well, YouTube's going to take 50% of that, so they probably need to donate $200. We might be able to get approved with a down payment, but that's going to just scratch the surface. Need Burrow money, yeah. Joe B. I would definitely be podcasting from the chicken coop for 30 years. That's about right. All the V1 members should pool our money together, buy the C90, and fly the members around. Brian Valdez, if money wasn't an option, yes, I would love to do that. I mean, I've even toyed with an idea of like, what if I started? I've always kind of thought of like, well, I'll start a flight school, but there's just too much in that. Like, I thought it would be cool to have like some type of flight like a sponsorship flight program. I just don't know the best way to get that off the ground, and there's just a lot of liability with that too. Canadian, yeah. Well, that's take what we got and use that as the bar, and force the hand, Canadian. Force the hand. Can I get half the subscribers to donate $100 to the Stephen Hayner Memorial College Tuition Fund? Stephen Hayner, start a GoFundMe, man. Cash App. Cash App. A couple of those runs to the Columbia should do it, though. Yes. Man, I listened to... gosh, what was his name? He was flying Barry Seal stuff before Barry Seal was flying it for the cartel. Old guy, crazy stories. I listened to a podcast with him on. I'm drawing a blank right now. Son of a gun. But he flew for... I'm drawing a blank. It's getting late for the cartel guy, too. You know what I'm talking about. But he told me the story, or not told me, but on the podcast, he was telling the stories of, like, he ended up, started in light twins, and then he had to get a DC-3 just because of the amount of product, and the money was just like, oh, I crashed a DC-3, no biggie, we'll just go buy another one. Cocaine Cowboys. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine legitimately doing that kind of flying and getting away with it and just... Jeez. Different world. Living in a different world. What was his name? I gotta look it up. It's gonna bother me. Because he's been on multiple podcasts. That's one thing you get good at being an airline pilot is becoming a good podcast listener. I'm gonna find him because this is gonna bother me until I find his name because here it is. Roger Reeves, Pablo Escobar and the Cartels. Go look up that podcast. It's a 5-hour pod on the Sean Ryan Show. Go look up Roger Reeves, Pablo Escobar, and this guy is gonna tell you the stories of how he got into it, how he was flying it, the airplanes, the conditions, and then the rest of his life story. I mean, at one point he even had a boat. Just nuts. I know an old Air Transat captain who now is retired. He has an M600, so I don't know how that's cool. M600, nice. Did I read that right? Mini FCU Kickstarter brought in over 4 million RC Flyer. I don't know. I didn't see that, but that is wild if it's true. That is absolutely wild if it's true, man. I know they were blown away with all the support they got because it allowed them to just go right into their additional plans for mini EFIS. So, how are we doing? Where's our fuel flow in this thing? $55 again. Hey, that is right in the ballpark of the. I think it's like 53 or something according to the manual. We're at 55.7. That is awesome. So we're burning some good gas. We're doing 55 gallons per hour. Everything is looking good. We're chilling. Nothing really to see outside. I could let you guys stare at the profile view for a minute. Elon Musk is in the chat. Are you the actual Elon Musk? Good to see you, Elon Musk. Thank you for the $3 super chat. So you need a plane? I need a pilot. Elon Musk actual? I'll be there, man. Hit me up. I will definitely go fly for Elon Musk. I'm sure you find any pilot you need now. Brian Valdez, can you guys listen to podcasts and cruise in the 320? Who are you, the FAA? Get in my chat. No. Brian, obviously, you wouldn't do that in cruise. The only thing you do in cruise is review company material and monitor systems, Brian. Come on, man. The wife is in the chat. Laura Breezy, good to see ya. What's going on? You know it's still fun. I'm still a member. You are still a member, and you're accruing the rank. The courtesy of Mr. AJ Funari. And someone else, I forgot who gave it to you last time. I think AJ tried. I don't know, it might have been AJ. Yeah, she's still a member. She's accruing rank. Man, that'll be a scary thought when she's running the V1 wings. How's life at home, Lo? We got, I'm hungry. Do we have any snacks? I didn't realize this flight was going to be this long up to Telluride. But now I'm committed, so we're still going. I was kind of hoping we'd be done at 9:30. Not working out so much. Steven, I don't know that movie. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. Yeah, ask her if she's cool with a 2 million. You mind if we leverage everything we have and buy an airplane? I need snacks. I want some pulled pork. Do we have some pulled pork? Pulled pork tortilla when I get home? Every pilot and snacks. I agree, Wingnut. Fantastic profile. Wingnut, you missed the airplane conversation, but I think if we get you and Mickey G, we can go 3 ways on a C90. It's only like 1.5 mil. So if we split it 3 ways, what is that? 500,000 each. We can make a deposit, and then, you know, it's only about 300,000 plus a year to maintain, plus fuel, plus hangar costs. But it might be feasible. It's actually half the price of a TBM. How we all want snacks. I don't have any snacks. Someone come bring me snacks. Sell the house, the cars, maybe 1 or 2 of the kids. Easy, yeah. Sell the wife. Oh no, she's here. I didn't say that. Canadians in too. That's 4 ways. Still plenty of pork. Well, I'd hope so. We'd smoked a 12-pound pork shoulder. You can sleep in the plane, but you can't fly out. That's very true. Very, very true. A Grumman Albatross. So there used to be an Albatross parked, a privately owned Albatross at, was it an Albatross? I'm pretty sure it was an Albatross. That's it can do both, right? Hold on, let me Google. Grumman Albatross. 90, yes. So there was a Grumman Albatross, privately owned, parked at our airport where I used to do flight training in Deer Valley. And it was there for months. And what the guy would do is once a year, he would take his family and they'd go up, fly up somewhere. I don't even know where they would. And they would literally live in the airplane and camp out on the shores of wherever they flew. I can't remember now. It might have been up towards Coeur d'Alene. I think it might have been Coeur d'Alene. And then they'd be up there for about a month. And then they'd fly back. And they would always park it on the ramp. And then one night there was I don't know, somebody drove by and just littered the airplane full of holes. They shot it up. I guess they were tired of looking at it. And then it got towed off, and I don't know whatever happened to it, if you fixed it or what. But yeah, good old Grumman Albatross. Cheyenne 2 might be more cost effective. Canadian, hey, so Wingnut has a thing for wings falling off airplanes. The one airplane that I don't want to own is a Cheyenne 2. That's the wings. That's the Chieftain with PT6s, right? I remember talking to guys that were flying med flight in California on the Cheyenne, and they were telling me they had just had an accident where the wing came off like a month prior. But it's just, that's way too much horsepower for that airframe. That airframe was not designed for PT6s. I took a break from watching Sean Ryan. I'll get back to that show. Not only what episode? Which one you watching, Laura? No, nothing speed tape can't fix. Man, I'm really hungry now for pulled pork. How far are we? Gosh, should we just divert? I tell you what. Let's go flight plan, cursor, direct to... $77 miles, 19 minutes. There we go. Oh, Victor Marks? Interesting. As much as I want to go home and have some pulled pork snacks right now, TBM night flying with some jazz is kind of a vibe. Am I allowed to say that? I think it is. Like if I had pulled pork right now, I'd be set. If I had my sim at my house, I would probably do this weekly. Like we would just have to do after dark, late night, TBM, cruising around the country. Maybe we should do it anyway. Maybe we should set up once a month or like maybe a couple times a month where we will set up the TBM evening stream, PM stream. I know a lot of you West Coasters are out there. V1 Laura joins because V1 ignores text. No, I got my phone here. No one's texting me. But I wonder, so what could we do? We got to set up like a route. Maybe we should start a TBM around the world. Seems like a lot, but what if we start a TBM? We got to come up with some type of route that we want to accomplish in a couple months. Maybe not around the world, but maybe like a north-south, across the Americas. Could be kind of fun. TBM and chill. TBM across North America. Yeah, we could do a coast-to-coast TBM. That's a good idea. And we got tailwinds. All right, so here's what we're going to do. The next time we do it, we're going to set up... We're actually in Telluride. Hell, why don't we consider this leg one? We'll go Telluride, and we're going to just continue to go further east until we get all the way to the East Coast. What's our final destination going to be? Oh, what's that little island off New York that everyone goes to? Martha's Vineyard? Should Martha's Vineyard be our final destination? And we got to go from... We started in John Wayne, which is on the West Coast. We'll make our way all the way to Martha's Vineyard. TBM and chill. That's going to be the title of the streams. We've just did it. We've just set it up. TBM and chill. After dark. We don't have to say after dark in there, but it'll be TBM and chill. That'll be the title of the stream. Be members only. And we're slowly but surely going to make our way all the way to Martha's Vineyard. St. Pierre and Miquelon, right next to Canada. Anchorage to Cabo. Oh, jeez. I want it to be some juicy, like we can't just be in the middle of nowhere though, because if we're flying night or sunset into night, we want to make sure there's some lights we could see. But we're only 64 miles out. We should probably at least load an approach. Let's see what kind of approaches we got here. Let me actually look at Navigraph real quick. Let's actually look at weather. Lake Tahoe, METAR, variable at 6, 10 miles clear. A beautiful night out there, so that's wonderful. Variable at 6. What is the common runway for... We got LDA, that's pretty much it. That it? There's only one approach? Oh, RNAV, there we go. LDA 18. We don't want to do that. Localizer type, directional aid. Jeez, I gotta bust out the old P-hack. Why are we descending? Why are we descending? Maybe temperature compensation? A cool 300,000. We dressed it up into a luxury yacht with waist guns for anti-rodent ops. I know I'm cutting into my anti-rodent operations flying with y'all. I've got a rodent problem on my chickens. We're not going to do the LDAs, so RNAV 18 is what we're left with. Let's look at these charts here real quick. Can C90s and 350s join, or are we too cool? Oh, hell yeah, AJ. But I don't think your C90 is going to be flying anywhere. The last video. If you guys watched that shorts of that C90 completely eating it into the terrain. That was yours truly, AJ Funari, who put the C90 into the dirt there. All right, I guess Hetry would be a good spot. We'll go off of Hetry. All right, so I'm going to close Navigraph out for a little bit. I hate how I have to do that separately. All right, proceed jazz, select approach, RNAV 18 off of Hetry, enter. We're going to load it, and we're actually going to go cursor direct to Hetry right now. Boom. So we're going to fly a little bit past the airport, but that's all right. That'll help us put in a good spot. Added 10 miles. Do we have to go all the way to Hetry? What's the final approach fix? Jezzy? Could go Jezzy. Nah, that's fine. We're good. 18 minutes out, 70 miles. We're looking good. It's getting dark though now. It's getting real dark, chat. Getting real dark. Depending on the airports, I can finally bring along my DC-6 and not hold everyone up. Steven, are you in the DC-6 tonight? You're not flying tonight. I didn't see any DC-6 plans. Okay, here's Steven. Do I need to get the DC-6? That is one airplane, and I don't watch all YouTubers, obviously, but of the select channels that I watch of content creation, and even of the channels that get recommended to me that I don't watch, but I see the recommendations. I don't know if I've ever seen DC-6 live streams on YouTube. Now, I haven't looked for it, but the main channels that I watch, I know we've tried to get XP72 to get in the DC-6. I've tried to get him in the DC-6. I don't even have the DC-6. It's just way too much work. Oh, I take that back. I think I saw Flight Deck to Sim do one stream in it. I think I saw Flight Deck to Sim do one stream in the DC-6. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to pick it up, but it just is like, talk about not a good streaming airplane. Jeez. Isn't there like a lot of auto? You can automate a lot of the features on it. It's like you can have a pseudo co-pilot. Looks like it's getting a little rough air up here. We're starting to get a little chop. Just sent the perfect plane for me in the Discord. Let me look. I'll load up my Discord. Yeah, Fly Navy showing off in the live stream channel. Kern Valley. Is that you? Fly Navy, tell me that's you in the F-18. Or is that you in the RV? Is that you in both? That's you in both, isn't it? You son of a... Talk about bad ass. Dude, that is awesome. That is straight awesome. Alright, where's this... Respect Alaska tour in the DC-6. Respect your forefathers. Matt, welcome back to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on here, man. Appreciate you. Canadian, where'd you post it? Anyway, I should get to my notifications at some point here. Man, we're getting bumped around. We are in some turbulence. We should slow to turbulent penetration speed. All right, where everything else is good. 59 miles out. What's our ground speed? 226 knots. We are working this engine tonight. We're still all within limitations, but we are putting some miles on it. I'm gonna have to learn this. You guys figure this out yet? With the KNS 80, you basically create waypoints, bearing distance, all that. I need to do this. That was you in both? I knew it. That is so badass. It's not even funny, dude. Oh, it's in the real world. Hawaii to SFO, just like John Wayne, the High and Mighty. Hawaii to SFO in the DC-6. How in the PMDG one, how is that even? What are we using? The stars to navigate? Like, what the hell are we navigating over the ocean? Headings and timings? Like, what are the logistics of taking a DC-6 to Hawaii? A Cessna Conquest 2, 800 thou? That's not bad. Monthly payments is 5,000. Hey, people got mortgages over 5,000 a month. We could easily do a Cessna Conquest 2. Split that 3 ways. I'd be down for a Cessna Conquest 2. Problem is, I want a turboprop. I want a turboprop. That's the problem. I want a PT6. Thankfully, they got GPS in the PMDG DC-6. All right, good. However, there is Celestial Navigation mod for Microsoft if you want to do trigonometry for 12 hours. Okay. Hey, Wingnut, do you know how to do Celestial Navigation? If you were in the Navy, you're in the Navy. You should know how to do it, right? If you know how to do it, if Wingnut agrees to it, we will do Celestial Navigation in the DC-6. But Wingnut has to agree, and he's going to be on live. He's going to be with me because I'm not gonna take time to learn that. Could you imagine going to Hawaii? That would be the ultimate feat. Like taking the PMDG DC-6, using the stars to navigate, and live streaming it, and the sim not. Like you have so many other things to worry about, like sim not crashing, your frames, frame drop. Like what if you lag out and you're looking at a star and it moves? Your wife knows how to do it? Wingnut. That would be, I would, not even kidding, man. That would be something. That would be something. How does the mod work in the sim? I'm going to Google it. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to look that up, Steve. 12 hours of trigonometry. Hell, I'd rather go sit ready reserve. Now you're talking, Canadian. Conquest 1 PT6s, yes. Conquest is a good bird, though. Conquest is a good bird. Insurance is quite high on turboprops, from what I told. Ooh, that's a good point. We gotta want the insurance. Forgot about that. Seth Williams, a welcome to Private Pilot, sir. Glad to have you on board. Hope you're enjoying the content. Little TBM and chill tonight. Migs, oh no, I never got back to you. You DM'd me. I have 90, Migs, appreciate the $5 Canadian, man. Appreciate you. I knew you said you were going to DM me. I'm looking at, I have, what's 29 and 56? I have 65 messages I haven't read. I'm sorry, Canadian. I didn't get back to you, man. You said, thank you for the $5 super chat, though. It says, my wife can also do celestial navigation to find me for a chore, just as I'm about to lie down. Good, Migs. Appreciate you. Migs. Let me find your actual DM. Was that you, Migs? That's funny, man. That's funny, Migs. Appreciate the support. Oh, you still need to DM me. Okay, so you didn't DM me? All right. If you did, just DM me again. Look, everyone DMs me. I'm the worst. I am the worst text responder, and that moves over into DMs. I literally have, what did I say, 62 DMs or something that I haven't looked. And I have over like 230 message requests. So at one point, Discord switched from when anybody messaged you, it would just pop up, to like forcing message requests. So there are messages from years ago that I've never even read. And it's not intentional. I get just absolutely flooded absolutely flooded. Half of them are trolls too. Half of them are trolls, so it's kind of like, man. All right, we do have to think about it's coming down here at some point. Matter of fact, are we on terrain mode? We are on terrain mode. Let's go ahead and start stepping down. We're going to set 15,000, vertical speed 500 feet per minute. We are coming down. Obve or Hetry is 11,000. Obve is at 11, so we'll be good there. I'm just looking at the chart real quick. The airport information itself, though, field elevation 6,200 feet, 6,300 feet. Rounded up, so 7,300 is 1,000 above. We'll have to keep an eye on all that. Coming up through the terrain, let me go back to my charts. Close you out. If we're going direct to TVL, the highest sector altitude I could see though around here is about 10,000. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. We're cutting across TVL. We're just to the south of it, about 30 miles. So the highest sector altitude here, we got 12,000 over here. We're going to be coming up from this quadrant right here. But I'm going to go ahead and just set, you know, let's say it's 11,000. So what we can do is we're going to set, we'll set 12.5 for now until we get a little bit closer to the lake, which we might end up having to do another turn in the hold. Jeez, why is that doing that? We want 1,500 feet a minute on the descent. And we're going to watch the speed as we descend down, watch that power. We're starting on down. Actually, as a project a couple years ago, I built a Python script that'll take your measurements for celestial navigation and split out a lat long. Makes things much easier. Really, Steve? That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. But that's cheating, though. I'd rather watch Wingnut, or listen to Wingnut and his wife like sweat over the actual trigonometry, trying to figure it out in real time with a delay, because it'd be probably a delay through voice and the stream and all that. We never squawked VFR, so that's on me. Well, actually, we squawking 2,000 on altitude. There we go. Sorry, Vatsim. All right, we're at a 17.5. Magic Barrel Ref 3009 makes a big difference. Watching that speed, I think we're gonna about ready to wrap it up here. Radios are coming to life. Jazz is going to sleep. Sim sounds are coming up. You were interested in temperature compensation for freezing cold RNAV. Oh, really? It'd be great to see RNAV into a specific airport up here in Canada. I don't know which one you could pick. Find one you want me to fly into, Migs, and we'll look at it. If they have those compensated, those barrel charts, that's something we have to look at. And I'd actually have to do some old memory refreshing. We'll turn the cabin lights off for landing, so the access lights are off. The dimmer we can make the cockpit, the better, because we'll have our eyes adjusting, if that's a thing. We'll dim our ADI down. Oh, thank goodness we can dim it like that. We'll dim this down a little bit. Definitely choppy here. Okay, so what sounds worse? 7-4 Sydney to LA in real time, or DC-6 from Hawaii to SFO with Celestial Nav? I still think the DC-6 sounds worse. That definitely sounds worse. Because there's no, so like for the LA or Hawaii, or what is it, Sydney to LA, I'm fully planning on going to sleep, like going back home and just managing the chat from my admin positions, like from my phone or from my laptop, and going to sleep. There would be no going to sleep in the DC-6 unless you were willing to just stay awake the entire time, which in that case, we can take off around 8 p.m. Western Standard Time, so it'd be almost midnight my time. I'll set up the stream for you, take off, I'll go sit in the back, and you and your wife can nav us all the way to Hawaii. It'd be good practice for when you upgrade to 350 and you're going to be riding that bunk. I could send the actual table on Discord we use here in Canada for cold temp. Yeah, Canadian, that'd be cool. I'd like to take a look at it. All right, we're at a 14.4. All right, let's pay attention now. We actually got to focus. We're getting ready to go over the lake. Let's set our minimum. Oh, gosh, I hate doing that. Let's set our minimum. Why is it? All right. 12,000. 12,000 for the procedure turn. Approach, RNAV 18. 11,000 actually, I was wrong. So we'll set 11,000. We're starting down, or we're already continuing down. Shared cockpit with relief crew, exactly. It would definitely be a note-taking stream, AJ. We would be taking a lot of notes on that one. I only learned how to do it with the computer program. Miss Wingnut had to learn to do it old school with the almanac and trick. Jeez. Allie, you're going to bring the 350 on the long haul? Nice. All right, so this is a good lesson in terrain at night. We hit on it when we left John Wayne. I said the mountains and the terrain are literally black holes. And we know from looking at charts, we are flying in some serious terrain. And if you look out the window, you see nothing. And that's exactly what it looks like in real life. So we're going to use a combination of our procedures and our 530 to build situational awareness. At a 12,000 here, I'm going to go ahead and start reducing speed. As we level at 11, we should get an altitude alert. There it is. I'm going to bring that power back. I'm going to run that prop up 1900. I can slow that cabin rate down there. Let's go ahead and set our landing. All right, 11.3 for 11,000. Telluride traffic, TBM 357 Bravo Mike. We're 6 miles south of, where are we going? Of Hetry. We're setting up for the RNAV 18 Telluride. All right, 11,000 feet. We don't even need to do a procedure turn. Are we icing up? We have ice on the windows. Look at that. We need to get our ice on. So inert SEP, airframe. Can I see anything out there? Look at. I'll turn the wing anti-ice on. We got ice on the windows. How cool is that? Not cool if you're here in real life. Let's get all the things on. Windshield heats are on. Airframe, the icing is on. Everything's on. Good old Tahoe. So we could be flying in. There's your. That scared me. Jeez, that scared me. That gets me every time. The inert SEP is on. All right, I'm going to try to maintain right about 180 knots here until we get a little bit closer. Once we turn into Hetry, we're going to slow up to like our approach. I don't know. I feel like this airplane flies really, really well about that 140 knot mark for these approaches. I don't know if you might want to be going a little bit slower if you were really flying it, but we're going to keep our speed up here until we make this turn. All right, it looks like we're cleared up our window. I don't see any ice out there. I don't know. I think you do have visual icing. Tahoe, not Telluride. What did I say? Telluride? I don't know. I was gonna go to Telluride. That was why I'm saying Telluride. That was the original plan, was like Salt Lake Telluride or something. But now that we're doing the TBM After Dark, or what is it? What's our little mini tour called? It's just black screen. There's nothing to look at with the cockpit. TBM and Chill. Now that we're doing the TBM and Chill tour for members only, we're going to be going to Telluride anyway. Maybe we can go there in the next couple streams. All right, we are inbound from Hetry. Telluride traffic, TBM Bro Mike. Inbound from Hetry to Obave. 3 miles to the west of Obave at 11,000. Set up for the RNAV 18. We did pick up some icing in the descent. Telluride traffic. All right, Obave, once we cross that, we are clear to descend to 9,300. So after Obave, we will descend to 9,300 feet.
Tahoe traffic, TBM 714 Bravo Victor. We are roughly 8 miles south of
There's
Henry.
the turn.
We're going to be joining the RNAV warning for celebration.
I love the push to sync heading knob. Oh, GPS is captured. Approach mode is armed. Glide says GS, but remember we had talked about it. It's actually a glide path. I could set a lower altitude of final approach fix 9,300. Now there is no vertical nav, so we got a 23 knot crosswind up here too. That's spicy. I think we're going to manually have to vertical speed it down. Let's just see what happens here real quick. So there is our glide slope.
Final, RNAV 18.
Yep, we need to start down.
Tahoe traffic.
Vertical speed her down to stay on that glide path. So that is a reference. So we got our we're actually LPV. We're actually going to do LPV mins. What's our LPV minimums? This is wingnut territory. LPV, LP 6680. Straight in for 1.8. Misapproach with the required minimum climb gradient, which we can do that. So 6680. We're going to pick up that descent. I'm actually going to slow down here to help us out. All right, let's run that prop up. Out of 10,600, the landing taxi lights are coming on. Everything else is on. Cabin is secured. I'm actually not going to do pulse mode because I kind of want to use the landing lights as best I can. Increase that rate of descent here. Looks like gear warning horn. Inside of Jettree, we're going all the way down to our mins of 6680. I can see the runway, so let's call it 6,700.
Tahoe traffic 68 is clear of active runway via Fox Drive. Tahoe traffic.
Let's pick up that descent right. All right, so we got the runway in sight. Let's go down. Tahoe traffic, TBM 7 Bravo Mike. We're on about a 10-mile final runway, 18. Telered. A little bit high on the glide path.
Kind of bumpy in the final, by the way.
Say again?
It's kind of bumpy in the final.
Roger that, thanks. All right, we've got everything in sight, so I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. I'm going to hand fly us in here. Air show's activated. I'm going to turn off the flight director. I'm going to leave the yaw damper on for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and straighten us up. We can see the runway, so we're going to deviate from this approach. This approach here is a little bit offset. Let's go ahead and go flaps approach. Definitely getting into some of that chop. Run the prop all the way up. Props forward. We're at high idle. We're going to get a little deviation on our CDI. That's normal. We'll maintain about, with these bumps, I'll try to keep it between 110 and 120 for now until we get a little bit closer. Tahoe traffic. Did I do both again? Recording is on. Oh my goodness, I was looking at the other screen. Where'd my runway go? There it is. Wow, it is bumpy. It's actually really bumpy here. I'm almost contemplating not going full flaps on this. That's our minimums. Airport's in sight. If we gotta go mist, I don't know what it is. We'll just call it. So I feel like this is kind of bugging out. Let's just say at 11,000. Where are we at? Telluride? No, just kidding. No, Tahoe. I don't know if we're going to go full flaps, guys. We are getting choppy. Alright, let's do it. Flaps to land. Gear is down. 3 green. We're on speed. .90 knots. I'm not going to get any slower than that. Good night. Winds aren't even that strong. It's just bumpy. 2 whites, 2 reds, looking good on the
Down
paddles.
traffic, TBM 1014 Bravo Victor, we're 10 miles south, runway 18, down traffic.
I think I made a fuel calculation error. We have way more fuel than I was anticipating. This is a good black hole effect right here. This is actually very realistic. This is pretty good. Kiss it, kiss it, kiss it. Oh, that had to be a butter. That had to be a greaser. That felt like it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Tahoe. 87? Oh yeah, that felt like an 87. That felt like an 87. Alright, who's going in with me? We're buying TBM. I will stop that recording. Clean her up. Man, I need my lights to see. Those are pretty poor taxi lights. I think that's the taxi light. Definitely need those landing lights. Uphill. We don't need that, don't need any of those. All of those are all coming off. Autopilot and trims master, that's off. Radio master is off. Cabin, we screwed up. We need to dump that. So remind me. I should have set that, right? I should have set 6,000. Because that's where we are. Stephen Abbey, if I didn't say it already, welcome back to the Commercial Pod, man. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, we've dumped the cabin. That's off. That's going to go into the off position as well. Now we should be able to open the door. It actually won't let you open the door if you don't depressurize either. That's coming off. That's going to manual. EFIS is coming off. Landing and taxis are off. Gyros are coming off. And that's coming off. Idle cut off. Off to dinner. Gonna convince Miss Wingnut to nav us across the Pacific. Wingnut, gotta do it, man. We'll do it for real. That'd be awesome. Have a good night. Take it easy. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. All right, we are down. We'll go, we'll leave the nav and strobe. Actually, we'll turn the strobe off. Crash bar down. There's our pilot light. We made it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. All right, let's disconnect from VATSIM. That was a lot of fun. Let's take a look at that landing. So the only way to really see that landing, though, is we have to turn the sun on a little bit. Turn the sun on. Yay. Let's back it up. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when we load in. Let's see what happens here. This could get all funky. Send it. Let's give the airplane something to look at. Oh, I shut off the engine. This is cool. Great stream as always. Makes me wish I was younger to pursue an aviation career. Boo Bruning. Hey, if you like aviation, if you're still wanting to be in aviation, Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's a hell of a place to be. It is really, really close to simulating an aviation career. I mean, you can, the way the sims are now, we're very fortunate. So, enjoy the simming. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you. Hey, you're never too old to go up and do a couple intro flights either. Or go get that PPL. Thank you, Velociraptor. JP, appreciate you, man. Oh, there's our full flap coming in. Oh, TBM. TBM for the win. Look at a little bit of like a roll spoiler action out there, too. Look at us. Look at us getting rocked. Now, people say Microsoft don't have a good flight model. I think it's just you don't have good flight modeling devs. I think some of them are kind of lazy. I mean, we were pretty much bang on the speed, locked in at 90 knots. Just looking awesome. When we fly in the next stream, MiGs, we'll probably be doing Citrus Ops tomorrow, normal time, around noon. And then I'm going to be headed out to work for a couple days, and then we're going to be doing long haul. So, one more stream this week, it'll be tomorrow. And then that's going to wrap it up. We'll just look at this landing because it was a greaser, and then we'll look at the other one real quick. Set her down. Oh yeah, that was a butter. That was an absolute greaser. That was sweet. Let's load the other landing. It's going to take a minute for the sim to catch up to speed here. I'll leave y'all with this one. I'll let you enjoy the sights and sounds of the sim. I'm going to head out of here. Thank you all for hanging out with us. TBM After Dark. No, what do we call it? TBM and Chill. TBM and Chill. It's been fun. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm out of here. See ya. All right, that was a sweet chop and drop. Let's watch that one more time. The sounds are sweet.